accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. As the search continues this morning for Nancy Guthrie in Tucson, Arizona, and as thousands of calls roll into investigators' tip lines, we're waiting to hear results on what could be a key piece of evidence in this case.
The discovery of a pair of gloves during a search. Images from the New York Post show investigators picking up one of those gloves, reportedly about a mile and a half from Guthrie's home. Investigators will now test the gloves for DNA.
And correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti says those gloves appear to be similar to ones worn by an armed, masked man seen on Guthrie's doorbell cam on the night she disappeared. Now, law enforcement contributor Rodney Harrison looks at the next possible steps for investigators in this case, which has not had many breaks.
This is the time that they need to also galvanize civilian members, get the community involved, see what they could do regarding helping out, passing out flyers, and getting information.
Now, he admits getting thousands of calls with possible leads can be overwhelming for law enforcement. Watching an ongoing trial in Fulton County this morning, more than 2 years after the fatal shooting of a valet in Buckhead. The jury now has the case against the alleged gunman. Comes after prosecutors play video of the killing of Harrison Olvey.
The 25-year-old valeting cars for a nightclub in Buckhead pulled up on a car burglar, confronted him, and suffered a single bullet to the chest. Randy King's defense notes how Olvey told first responders he saw two black guys burglarizing a car and one shot him. The defense says the triggerman was somebody else. The state says even if that's true, King, whose break-in of the pickup was captured in full by that Dodge's dash cam, is still guilty of murder. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Well, it's been more than 5 years since the 2020 election, but it's still playing out in the courts. Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis is going after President Trump and his allies over a new push to be reimbursed millions of dollars in legal fees in the case.
Willis files a new motion in Fulton County Superior Court saying paying the $17 million would wipe out her entire budget. She says she has no intention of allowing Fulton County taxpayers to pay such an absurd amount for such an absurd reason. Georgia lawmakers passed legislation which allows criminal defendants to recover attorney fees and other costs from prosecutors who were disqualified. Willis was removed from the case because of her romantic relationship with a special prosecutor. She calls the request for almost $17 million a preposterous sum. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Now, the head of the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia has also voiced concerns about that law, but the president's attorney insists those payments are reasonable following the long legal battle. It's 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start the WSB 24-hour traffic center in Ashley Frasca.
A crash causing delays out of Marietta into northwest Atlanta, 75 south past Mount Perrin. A couple of right lanes are knocked out there, so it's really starting to get slow back at Delk Road. And gridlock alert continues through Bartow County. Long-standing truck crash, 75 south before Highway 20 has you on the brakes. A couple of miles before Cassville White, so you're going to need to use Highway 41. Picking up a new crash on 285. Stephanie Stallworth.
Yeah, this crash awaiting assistance. It's on the west side, 285 southbound before Bolton Road. I'm watching it on the jam cam. It's on that narrow left shoulder, partially blocking the left lane. Use some caution as you approach that area or get center and right to get by that scene. Newer issue 285 west. We're looking at near Flat Shoals Road. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, highs in the low 60s. Clear and cool tonight, temperatures falling to the upper 30s. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high around 62. Saturday morning lows in the mid-30s, but warming up through the afternoon into the mid-60s.
Chilly start to the day, 38 degrees right now in Woodstock, 43 in Conyers, 43 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Three hours from now, I am predicting I'm going to be completely out of breath. That is how much news we have to talk about today. Welcome, friends, to the Mark Arum Show. 30 minutes from now, we're going live to the nation's capital, recapping what happened yesterday with the meeting between President Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister. We're going to give you complete updates on the Nancy Guthrie disappearance, a new piece of evidence perhaps found yesterday. Hopefully that will lead investigators to Miss Guthrie's location. We are going to go back to D.C. and recap what happened yesterday during the Pam Bondi hearing. We dipped in briefly, and there were just fireworks going on with Pam Bondi and Democratic congressmen, so we're going to update you on that. Got a couple of really big stories, local stories. You might have heard it on Atlanta's Morning News with Chris Chandler. DeKalb County schools, Deborah, are planning on closing up to 27 schools.
Where are those kids going to go?
There's no kids. That's why they're closing it. Yeah, enrollment's really down, and I think it ties into a story that we're going to talk about a little later. The self-deportation rate here in the United States is increasing greatly, and I think that's why we're seeing lower enrollment in DeKalb County schools. But that is a huge local story. I can't even imagine. I know DeKalb is a monster school district, right? Maybe second or third biggest in the state, but 27 schools might be closed in DeKalb County. That is a huge local story. Another big local story we've been covering, obviously, on your official election station is the race for governor here in the state of Georgia. The big bombshell announcement was Rick Jackson, the wealthy philanthropist, rags to riches story, jumping into the race, running as a Republican. That has really upended a lot of things. But there's some other layers to this race, and a really good piece today on AJC.com. The headline is New Lawsuit Ethics Charges as Georgia's governor's race heats up. The author of the piece on the Atlanta Journal-Constitution website is David Wickert. He joins us live on the Mark Arum Show. David, good morning as always. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, I didn't think this race could get any more crazy than it already was, especially with that bombshell announcement. But talk about this big money fight in the Georgia governor's race and these ethics allegations and the lawsuit. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, this one example of the money that's being spent here is there's this secretive group called Georgians for Integrity. We don't know who they are. They're based in Delaware, but they have not registered, as most groups would in Georgia when you're trying to influence an election. The state law requires you to register, to disclose your donors and disclose how you're spending your money. They haven't done that, and they've been spending, the last figure I saw was about $14 million on attack ads against Burt Jones, who's seeking the Republican nomination. Now, they're doing this, they're using, they're avoiding language specifically referencing the governor's race. So they're probably arguing that, hey, we're not trying to influence the governor's race. We're just, we're weighing in on some public policy issues. Republicans aren't buying it. The state GOP has filed an ethics complaint asking them to be required to register and disclose their donors. And then yesterday or earlier this week, the State Ethics Commission added some charges of its own. They're saying this group is essentially lobbying because its attack ads against Burt Jones are referencing things like his votes for to increase legislative pensions and some actions he took that critics say supported a big Butts County hospital and data center development on property owned by his father. The ads are basically accusing Jones of using his office for public benefit or benefiting from public office. He denies that, but now the Ethics Commission says this amounts to lobbying as well.
David, is there anything forensically that the Ethics Commission can do to find out who exactly is behind this mystery group that's spending millions of dollars?
Well, there's legislation pending now that would allow them to more easily enforce out-of-state subpoenas. That bill was introduced last session, didn't make it over the finish line. Now suddenly there's more interest in it because of a case like this. But they've got these complaints they're investigating, and I don't know. We're just going to have to see how it plays out.
David, have we heard from the lieutenant governor or the Jones campaign about these attack ads against him?
Yeah, I mean, they say it's all false. That challenging. Look, if you're not afraid to back up what you're saying, tell us who you are. Lots of speculation about who it is. Jones's opponents in the Republican primary, Brad Raffensperger, Chris Carr, say it's not them behind this. Democrats say it's not them. We don't know, and it's sort of an interesting. I don't know if loophole's the word, but there are blind spots in Georgia's campaign finance law, and this group seems to be exploiting them.
David Wickert from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution joining us live here in the Mark Arum Show, adding another layer to this increasingly interesting race for the governor's mansion is Rick Jackson, the latest entry. He is, I believe, filed suit as well against Burt Jones for some sort of fundraising loophole, I guess they're accusing him of.
Yeah. Back in 2021, legislators created a new kind of political committee called a leadership committee. And basically, it lets the people who can have leadership committees kind of circumvent some traditional things like limits on contributions. They can raise money during the legislative session. They can coordinate, with their own campaigns. Those are all things that, say, Brad Raffensperger can't do or Chris Carr can't do. Burt Jones can do it because he has a leadership committee. The people who can have leadership committees are the governor, the lieutenant governor, the official Democratic and Republican nominees for those offices, and then legislative leaders of both parties. There's been lawsuits going on over this for 5 years. Back in 2022, David Perdue filed a lawsuit when he was running against Brian Kemp for the Republican nomination for governor. Stacey Abrams filed a lawsuit as well. They actually were successful to the extent that they won injunctions prohibiting Kemp from raising and spending money for his leadership committee until he'd gotten the official Republican nomination. Others have tried to take different routes. Brad Raffensperger and Chris Carr had lawsuits in recent months that were not successful. They were going on different legal theories. Now Jackson's kind of going the David Perdue and Stacey Abrams route, and we'll see what happens.
Final quick question following up on that, David. Is there any chance this gets adjudicated before the primaries?
Well, good question. I know that there's likely to be a hearing, but it's just been filed, so we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure that's what Jones's opponents would like to see.
All right. David, speaking for your bosses, do not plan on taking any vacation days for the remainder of 2026.
I'm not.
All right, there you go. Or at least after Election Day, you could take a couple days off.
Okay.
All right. David Wickert, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. David, great stuff, and thanks for your time as always.
Thank you, Mark.
All right. I mean, Nelly. They've got to be able to, this Maryland, this organization out of Maryland spending $14 million on attack ads. There's got to be some way to uncover who's behind that money. If I was lieutenant governor, I'd be ticked off. Crazy ticked off. This man is never ticked off. He seems very level-headed. The border czar, Tom Homan, holding a press conference right now in Minneapolis. Let's dip in for a second.
Personnel. I cannot remove law enforcement personnel while violence poses serious risk to our officers. I will not leave my officers in that position. It is worth knowing.
That's Tom Homan. I just jumped in there for a second. He's been speaking for about 10 minutes. He has said thus far, no arrests have been made at hospitals, churches, or elementary schools during the Minnesota immigration operation. The news team is monitoring this press conference. We get some more audio. Minnesota. One more quote from the border czar. The Minnesota immigration operation, quote, has yielded the results we came here for. Deborah, as soon as Tom Homan got to Minneapolis, we haven't seen.
It's been pretty quiet.
Yeah. Maybe he should have been there from day one, but we're going to continue to monitor that. Sad news for a certain generation. James Vanderbeek passed away, Deborah. How old was he and what took him down, unfortunately?
James Vanderbeek passed away yesterday at the age of 48, and he had gone public with his cancer diagnosis.
Colorectal, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago, because he had to pull out from projects, and he kind of came out and said everything to his audience, moved, and was kind of sharing his journey. And ultimately, he lost his battle yesterday. But the really sad thing is that, actors don't necessarily have health insurance plans or 401ks the way that regular people do. So he was actually selling his memorabilia whether it was from the movie Varsity Blues or from the TV show Dawson's Creek, his two biggest projects, just to kind of keep money for his family. And they had to start a GoFundMe page so that the family doesn't lose their home.
You would think, like, in that, was that the 90s when he was like...
late 90s, early 2000s?
Like, he was the it guy. And the fact that, I would imagine, too, when you're dealing with colorectal cancer and the treatments, that probably sapped whatever savings he might have. Dawson's Creek is probably what he's most known for. I never saw a single episode of Dawson's Creek, but one of the greatest high school quarterbacks of all time in Varsity Blues.
Let's go out there. We'll play the next 24 minutes for the next 24 minutes. And we'll leave it all out on the field. But we go out there and we give it absolutely everything. That's heroic. Let's be heroes.
You remember Varsity Blues, right? Most people remember the whipped cream scene.
Allie Larder.
Yeah, yes. but you know that was a really good movie. I enjoyed Varsity Blues, the movie. Rest in peace to James Vanderbeek. Ironically, one of my friends went to high school with him in Connecticut, Cheshire, Connecticut, and James Vanderbeek and my friend were. Did you have like a mortal enemy in high school, Deborah? Like someone you just didn't get along with, didn't like that. You're
not
so
like one
lovable.
Specific person.
You had a group of people that you didn't get along with.
No, I mean, I couldn't think of like one person that we all. There was, I mean, there's always that one person that doesn't fit in somewhere, but nobody that I just hated.
Yeah. So Vanderbeek and my buddy, they were mortal enemies, and I don't know what the backstory was, whatever. But when James Vanderbeek made it big, he was on like the Leno show, and he referenced my friend, like basically saying, "Ha, buddy, you know, look at me now," kind of thing. Like it was that kind of a heated rivalry. And I asked him, I was like, he's like, good for him. Like we were in high school, we were kids, we didn't. But he got called out, name dropped on Leno, saying,
I would have taped that clip, had it forever.
Yeah, I was going to play it, but I don't want to out my friend, because he's got to feel awful right now. But anyway, rest in peace to James Vanderbeek. All right, the big local story, we're going to go in depth as soon as we get some more information. DeKalb County Schools possibly could close up to 27 schools, and some high schools could become middle schools. Massive drop in enrollment in DeKalb County, a huge, huge local story. We'll continue to update throughout the show here on 95.5 WSB. Right now, it's 9:18. We got to check the Thursday morning ride around town. Let's say hello and good morning to Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Jammed up as you leave Marietta into northwest Atlanta. Long-standing crash with the sun in your eyes in two right lanes. 75 southbound, just past Mount Perrin Road, exit 256. Delays back before I-285. And, of course, that's impacting the 75 southbound lanes. In Marietta, you can use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway. That changes names to Northside Parkway as an alternate. Crash in the left lane, 285 southbound, the outer loop past South Cobb Drive. That's impacting the left lane. And new trouble on the east side perimeter. Stalled vehicle in the center lane, 285 northbound, getting past La Vista Road. The support is brought to you by TurboTax. TurboTax is redefining tax season with the opening of expert stores and offices nationwide, merging cutting-edge AI with local expertise for a stress-free experience. Find your local tax expert at TurboTax.com. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Friday at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, when does the weekend rain arrive? Latest Nancy Guthrie news, and just in time, what Clark says you can do for Valentine's Day. Join us on 95.5 WSB.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with NG Windows. Today, we're talking with the owners and window experts, Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum. Ted, trust, communication, and working with a team you can count on. This is every homeowner's wish list. What do your customers say about working with you at NG Windows?
We know replacing your windows can feel stressful, and we want to make it simple. A lot of people talk about how smooth the whole process feels. One homeowner shared every step of the way they answered questions and followed up. That's the kind of communication that makes a big difference in your project and makes it much more manageable.
Jonathan, I like that NG Windows has video testimonials on your website from real customers.
Seeing and hearing real homeowners describe their experience from the first consultation to installation gives a much clearer picture than just a list of products. It helps people know what to expect and feel confident about their own project.
Ted, details are important to any project. Tell me how your team handles those.
People notice the little things, like installers being on time, keeping the job site clean, and treating the home with respect. One customer wrote, "The team was courteous and professional from start to finish. finish. That's the kind of attention that makes the whole experience stress-free.
Jonathan, NG Windows has outstanding reviews. It's worth reading those before starting a window or door project, right?
Reviews give you insight straight from other homeowners. You hear what worked well, how the team handled questions, and what made them happy, and that helps you make a confident decision. Please go read our reviews and learn why so many customers have enjoyed working with NG Windows.
We truly appreciate your knowledgeable advice and for being our window and door experts. And this month, NG Windows would like to offer you 18% off your project, plus up to 18 months no interest, no payment financing. Be sure to take advantage of this month's incredible savings offer and financing option. For all the details, visit ngwindows.com.
Infinity by Marvin from NG Windows, yeah!
Scott Slade from iRoofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but unsure about timing? FGA offers a free drone roof assessment. Get a quote and mention me and you'll get $1,000 off your quote. And the quote will be good for 12 months. Search FGA Roofing to book an appointment today.
Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. Did you know Superior is probably the #1 installer of water heaters in Atlanta? If your water heater is over 10 years old, time to replace and be surprised on the improvements it will make in giving you plenty of hot water. Superior offers a 10-year warranty.
Are you worried about high blood pressure? Have you tried to lower your numbers with little success? You may be eligible for a clinical research study evaluating the impact of an investigational blood pressure procedure. If you are an adult and have high blood pressure or are taking medications to manage high blood pressure, you may qualify for this study, which is expected to last at least 4 years. Call 404-605-3118 and ask whether you may be eligible for the Spiral Gemini Pilot Study, located at the Piedmont Research Institute in Atlanta at 95 Collier Road, Suite 3010. That's 404-605-3118. Caution: hepatic denervation is limited by law to clinical investigation in all geographies. The generator and catheter used in the Gemini study for hepatic denervation are not approved for sale or use in the U.S. or any other country.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
9:23 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy 74th birthday, Michael McDonald. I had no idea, Deborah, you knew this, I'm sure, that he was a member of the Doobie Brothers and Steely Dan.
Yes, I did know that. Yes.
That's crazy to me.
Yes.
I just know him from like his solo career.
Heavily sampled in the hip-hop community as
Yeah,
well. Yes.
yeah. Happy 74th birthday, Michael McDonald. Coming back to some breaking news. Border czar Tom Homan.
Where is Hector?
Having a press conference right now in Minneapolis, says the surge in enforcement is over. What exactly that means, I don't know, but Judd's going to break it down. But that's the breaking news from Tom Homan. Judd will have an update on that in just a couple of minutes. Speaking of Judd, Valentine's Day, 2 days away. I'm assuming you've already taken care of Mrs. Higginbotham?
I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be at Mardi Gras.
I know.
Is there anything more lovely than to be at Mardi Gras for Valentine's Day?
Well, beads, perhaps. I'm the same way. Maya and I are going down to Florida for Valentine's Day. Here's my advice, though. If you are in a couple, married or otherwise, don't get in a fight between now and Valentine's Day. It's going to make it really bad. Just hold your angst till the 15th of February. You do not want to get in an argument before Valentine's Day. We have new data out right now. Couples' top household arguments. What do couples argue about the most, Deborah?
This one is a big one for me. Leaving the lights on if you're not in the room. Just leaving them on, like, the kitchen, then you leave the kitchen, but you leave the lights on, you go to the bedroom.
I notice
office.
it. I don't bring it up.
Really?
I just turn the light.
You just turn it off?
I don't say anything.
Yeah,
So
I go around and shut them off.
Yeah, exactly. I've
Mhm.
avoided that. What else do couples
I think
argue
this
about?
is probably maybe the biggest one. What temperature to have, the heat or the AC at, right?
Maya's in charge of the thermometer. She's got it on her phone.
I know you change it here like every time you
I
come
do.
in and out of the room.
Well,
That's
this
why I
one-
always have a jacket on.
This was like the heating and cooling system in the studio was purchased from the Soviet Union in 1983. It is so funky and weird. Other things that couples argue about.
Leaving your shoes in the middle of the floor, especially if they're like in front of the door, so someone
Yeah.
trips on them.
Judd and I both say yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's the number one in my house.
But to be
Will
fair,
you do it or someone else does it?
No, I
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
But to be fair, I own like 4 pairs of shoes, and Maya is like Imelda Marcos.
She puts them away though.
Sort of. She just has more spaces
Of
to
course.
put them than
Yeah,
I do. Okay.
Absolutely. Not doing your fair share of the chores, like kind of just making someone else do it, because eventually it's going to drive them crazy and they're going to take care of it, right?
So I've only had one argument in my life with Maya, and it was when we were dating, and it happened over dessert at a restaurant in Destin, Florida. And I wanted Cherry's Jubilee, but she was mad at me for something, so we wound up not getting Cherry's Jubilee. But there was miscommunication in the household chores. I hate doing dishes. Maya's like, I got your dishes. But she's like, you have to take the trash out.
Oh, yeah.
To me, taking the trash out means taking the cans to the curb.
Yeah.
But also, in her interpretation, it means
Oh.
taking the trash from the garbage can and put it into the outside
so
cans.
collecting like all the other rooms, putting it all together and taking it out.
Yes,
That
that's-
seems fair.
Yeah, well, so I didn't know that. But, but now that I do, that is one of my
So
jobs.
how else did you take out the trash before you lived with Maya?
I just assumed like, oh, whoever filled up the trash can would tie the thing. And she was never emptying the trash
Well,
can.
one of the things on here is trying to constantly squeeze more trash in rather than just taking the bag out.
That's just smart, though.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah, you got to.
Leslie hates that. She's like, it's so heavy.
You gotta
I'm like,
push
no.
it down. You got to push it down. All right.
Stacking a dishwasher, is that ever a big deal?
No, that's her whole thing. I don't touch dishes. I worked as a dishwasher in a Mexican restaurant. I did my time. If it were up to me, we'd have paper plates and plastic silverware. So Maya's in charge of that. All right, Judd's got that breaking news from the border czar. When we come back, we're going live to D.C. 5th meeting between President Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister. What went down behind closed doors when it concerns Iran? Ed O'Keefe from CBS Live next on The Mark Arum Show.
Shelley Winter here with my friend, the owner of RJ's Auto Body Plus, Jeff Glatzer. I can't recommend them strongly enough. They are a family-owned body shop in Marietta, operated by a husband and wife team. Jeff, I walked into your facility and was blown away at how warm the environment was and was greeted by your beautiful wife, Edith. Tell us why RJ's Auto Body Plus is so good.
Well, first of all, we have Edith. But we've always prided ourselves on being a family, neighborhood type of business. I always wanted to be that shop that people felt comfortable going to, knew they were going to be taken care of, and just knew they had an advocate on their side.
You told me a story about driving to New Jersey to get a part for one of your customers. Is this common?
With COVID and with the tariffs, parts have become a little more scarce. So we take our delivery dates seriously, and we'll take the steps we need to procure the parts and search for them and get them in an expeditious fashion and get the car out on time if possible.
Folks, that is my friend Jeff Glatzer of RJ's Auto Body Plus. If you've been in an accident, big or small, and want to work with a family-owned body shop, I strongly recommend RJ's Auto Body Plus. They work for you, not the insurance companies. Search RJ's Auto Body Plus. That's RJ's Auto Body Plus, or call 770-955-5020.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and choose when you want to move. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
If you're seeing any signs of moisture in your basement, condensation, damp floors, mold, or wood rot, your basement has water issues, AquaGuard will create a customized waterproofing plan to keep your basement dry. Visit aquaguard.net today. Remember,
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic,
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 9:30. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, looking over this morning's announcement from the DeKalb County school system, which says it's considering major changes because of declining enrollment. A proposal under review would close 26 elementary schools in the county and convert Cedar Grove, Lithonia, and Towers high schools into middle schools. An online video spells out reasons for the move.
We now have over 18,000 empty seats across the district, and the number is predicted to increase.
And it says no final decision has been made yet. A community review process will take place over the next 2 months before any recommendations are given to the board. It is currently 44 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says today should be nice, sunny skies, high in the low 60s. Some of us could get back into the 30s tonight. Rain chance going up later on this weekend. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Following breaking news this hour in Minneapolis, where Borders Czar Tom Homan has just announced that the surge of immigration enforcement in the city of Minneapolis has concluded. He says the operation's gotten the results that were intended, and a drawdown of agents is expected over the next week. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz had said Wednesday he believed the ICE operations would soon be over. After getting word from the White House, follows violent protests, of course, in the city over agents' tactics and, of course, the fatal shootings of 2 protesters just last month. Well, it already had a major presence here in Atlanta. Now, new expansion plans from Waymo, which says it expects to top 1 million paid weekly robo-taxi rides in the U.S. by the end of this year.
The startup plans to expand testing and launch new commercial services across 20 cities this year, including Washington, Las Vegas, and Denver. It began fully autonomous operations in Nashville earlier this week. Waymo launched in Atlanta last June.
And Bloomberg's Matt Piper says there are reports, though, that a Waymo car drove through an active police scene, including a SWAT team, just last weekend. New numbers show it is getting much more expensive to spoil your Valentine.
Researchers from Investors Observer compared the most popular gifts and their cost in 2016 and 2026. Here's what they found. It's more than doubled.
For example, the average dinner for 2 in 2016 would be $80 to go for Valentine's Day. Today, it's $209.
Analyst Sam Borgi says what you pay for a box of chocolates has more than tripled. In 2016, that price was averaging just over $15. Now it's more than $50. The average price of a greeting card now about $7. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
And a new study suggests if you want to help fight off cognitive decline, including Alzheimer's disease, pick up a book or a pen.
A Rush University Medical Center study found that doing activities that stimulate the mind improve cognitive health throughout your entire life. Even people who read books and newspapers before the age of 18 had a cognitive benefit decades later.
Well, Michael George reports the study also suggests learning something new, like a different language, can also keep your brain sharp and at least delay that cognitive decline. It's 9:33 as we check your money. Positive start on Wall Street. All major indices well up, including the Dow up more than 200 points. S&P is up about 25 points. Now live team coverage, traffic and weather. We start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center, and Mike Shields.
And Judd, watching a jam out of northeast Atlanta with a crash right now in 2 left lanes, 85 northbound just past 17th Street and Peachtree Street, or 2 left lanes are blocked. That's impacting the connector northbound as now you make your way into Midtown, getting up to the Brookwood split. Wide way around it if you can. Work your way off into Midtown and then take the Beaufort Spring connector to avoid those delays as crews try to clear this crash. And trouble on the east side perimeter, a stalled vehicle in the second right lane. I expect they're going to block the right lanes to try to eventually tow this to the shoulder. 25 northbound, the outer loop at La Vista Road already slow though, 4 miles back starting at Memorial Drive. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epward. Sunshine for this afternoon, highs in the low 60s. Clear and cold tonight, lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Sunny skies tomorrow with a high around 62. Staying mainly dry on Saturday as clouds roll in. Morning lows in the mid-30s, daytime highs in the mid-60s.
43 degrees right now in Smyrna, 46 degrees in Auburn, Georgia, 45 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
How would you describe Eric Von Hessler?
You're prickly with the public sometimes.
Prickly?
Yeah.
No, never with the public.
Eric Von Hessler.
I'm very nice to strangers. I'm very curmudgeonly with those who love me.
He's got plans for your ride home.
The demeanor of the entire thing is...
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
We're drinking tea on a bus.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say
I'll direct it to
Tensions flared yesterday between Attorney General Pam Bondi and Democratic Representatives still to come come. We'll break down what happened there. But big meeting yesterday between the Israeli Prime Minister and President Trump. Ed O'Keefe joins us live from D.C. next on the Mark Arum Show.
This is Andy Harris, president of Coosa Valley Credit Union, inviting you to come see us for your auto loan needs. If you're buying a car or refinancing your current auto loan, at Coosa Valley Credit Union, you'll get one of the lowest interest rates in the market. Now, auto loan rates are as low as 2.99 APR when you open an account with a direct deposit. Coosa Valley Credit Union is local and nearby in Northwest Georgia. Plus, you'll always speak to a real person when dealing with us. That's what we call kinder banking.
Contact 706-235-8551 for more details. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Possibility of severe weather on Valentine's Day. It's time to show your roof some love. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. I want you to call the experts at Dr. Roof, my pals, or visit them online at drroof.com. That's drroof.com. Show your roof some love this Valentine's Day.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
Want to love your deck so much that you don't even want to go on vacation? Hi, I'm Scott Nelson, owner of Nelson Exteriors, and your new deck will be your family's favorite staycation. We do decks differently. Beautiful high-end decks at a reasonable price, materials you choose, and lots of options. With Nelson Exteriors, you'll get a high-quality, affordable, custom deck, handcrafted by our licensed and insured experts. For an extraordinary deck renovation, Google Nelson Exteriors.
Well, what if there is no tomorrow? There wasn't one today.
33 years ago today, Groundhog Day was released in theaters, one of the greatest movies of all time. That was Bill Murray. I would imagine Ed O'Keefe may be having a Groundhog Day-esque feeling. Not once, not twice, but 5 times the Israeli Prime Minister has gone to the White House and met with President Trump. The 5th meeting happened yesterday. Ed, good morning as always. Thanks for your time.
It's always Groundhog Day around here, guys. Let me tell you, there's always something that sounds like yesterday. Sure.
So we heard before the meeting that it would be closed press, closed meeting. Did the 2 leaders of the state leaders actually talk to the press after, or no?
They did not. They did not, which is actually becoming a trend among most of the visits that the president has with world leaders, that they've just decided to keep reporters out. That's actually returning things to the way it was during the Biden years, where a handful of these leaders, certainly from more autocratic countries, not to say that Israel is, they are not, they're more of a democracy for sure, but they would keep us out of it, and we'd complain about it. In this case, once again yesterday, he came and he went without reporters getting a chance to talk to the 2 of them. And as we understand it, based on what the president had to say afterward, he made clear to the Israelis he still wants to try talking to the Iranians. And if that doesn't go well, then they'll see what happens, which was alluding to what happened last summer when the U.S. joined Israel in bombing those nuclear production and storage sites inside Iran. But in this case, there is some disagreement, or at least some concern among the Israelis about the scope of the talks with Iran, and they've made clear to U.S. officials it has to lead to the total end of Iran's nuclear ambitions, the extraction of any nuclear-related materials from Iran. And if not, then Israel should be able to reserve the right to defend itself, and if it feels threatened, take military action against those assets. So we'll see. But, the president, as we've seen over the last 13 months, continues to try to keep talking to different countries, different leaders, even those that the U.S. has been at odds with for years. And it appears that's what he's pressing forward with here.
Obviously, the Iran talks very important to Israel for Bibi to get on a plane again and meet with the president. Do we know what Israel wants from this negotiation that is different from what the United States wants? I heard reporting that the Israelis want no more ballistic missiles capability, not just nuclear. But what's the separation between the two nations and what they want out of these talks?
That's correct, and that is an important point. I think the concern Israelis have, the Israeli government has, is that while those are sacrosanct for them, it may be less important to the Trump administration to insist on those things as part of ongoing talks. And so that's part of it, is that they see the urgent, immediate, and because of their geographic proximity, threat to them with either a ballistic missile or nuclear program or just nuclear development at all being possible in that country. And so they continue to reiterate to the president, you've got to keep that in mind as you keep talking to Iran. Go ahead and talk to us if you insist on that. But know that we have real issues with this. And Netanyahu's team said he was going to bring more evidence of the ballistic missile program being further developed. We didn't hear much about that after the meeting. But when they met in late December down in Florida after Christmas, the president said, look, he's shown me some proof. If they have more, show it to me. And if it's true, it's disturbing, and we'll deal with it. So unclear if he brought anything new that would cause the president to hold back on talks. Doesn't appear that's the case, given what he said publicly after the meeting.
Ed O'Keefe from CBS News joining us live in D.C. here on the Mark Arum Show. In the meantime, we have more, we being the United States, moving more military assets into the region. That to me is just increasing the leverage that we have in talks with Iran.
Yes, I mean it's sort of you put the threat of military might out there, and it obviously could compel people to keep talking. That was the idea with Venezuela. It obviously didn't work, and you saw what happened.
Witkoff, Kushner, are they leading up these talks with Iran?
They are, but through indirect means. They're not meeting face-to-face with Iranian officials. We've been using different intermediaries in the Middle East who usually host both sides in the same city at the same time, but never put them in the same room.
I should mention, too, Israel, I believe, is now officially on the Board of Peace when it comes to what's going on with the rebuild of Gaza. Quickly, while I have you, Ed, I don't know what exactly is going on with this governor's dinner story. Is it on? Is it off? What happened?
This is kind of like, messing up the wedding invite list. Who gets invited to the rehearsal dinner, who doesn't, who gets to go to the wedding reception, who's going to the service. Look, traditionally they meet in D.C. every year in February, the National Governors Association, which is just that. It's an association of the 50 governors and those that lead the territories in Puerto Rico. They have offices here in D.C. Each state has offices in Washington, sort of their guy in town or their woman in town who keeps track of federal dollars going back to those states. And so they get together every year here to talk about things of common concern, public safety, infrastructure, health, the economy, whatnot. And traditionally, on the Friday of that weekend meeting, they come to the White House. They meet either with the president, the vice president, top cabinet, and administration officials. And it's designed to be a bipartisan gathering to say, look, you are all executives. I'm an executive. We're working on problems together. Here's how it goes. For whatever reason, the White House had initially said, no, not happening. We're only inviting the Republicans over. The National Governors Association took it upon itself to say, well, then we're not coming, because the whole point of this organization is to be bipartisan and to be above partisan politics and focus on real concerns. That meeting on Friday, it appears, is back on. What's still up for dispute is who's going to come to dinner on Saturday night, because the other part of this is if you're a governor, you get to go to the White House on Saturday night for a very exclusive party. The president hosts all the governors and their spouses from both parties. Never been an issue. May not be the best ticket in town, but it's at least a cool party for a governor to go to.
Yeah.
Maybe start measuring the drapes, right? In this case, the White House has said everyone can come, except, it appears, the governor of Maryland and the governor of Colorado, two Democrats, Wes Moore and Jared Polis, because the president's not big fans of them, at least not this week. He's got issues with Moore based on some of the things he's said in the past about his own military record. He doesn't like the way he's dealing with the reconstruction of that bridge outside of Baltimore. Remember that collapsed a few years ago? And he's got issues with Jared Polis because there's this woman who's in state prison on state charges for alleged 2024 election interference issues. He wants her released. The state won't do it. Whether or not they show up, we'll see. All the other Democratic governors have been invited, but several of them have said, I'm not coming unless those two guys get invited too.
So as of now, the dinner is on.
Party planning.
Yeah,
dinner's on, but we'll see who's there.
All right. Ed O'Keefe, CBS News. Ed, great insight as always. Thank you, my friend.
Take care.
There you go. I want to, again, there should be a White House social media feed. I want to know what they're serving for that governor's dinner. If it's, homemade meatloaf and green beans, all right, I'll pass. But if it's a smorgasbord, I might be there. Good stuff for Ed O'Keefe. If you're just joining us, Nancy Guthrie still missing, but some developments in the last 24 hours covering the Nancy Guthrie story for us is correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory picked up some new information, including a possible new piece of evidence in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. What can you tell us?
Well, the big piece of information was that glove, black latex or rubber glove, was found about a mile and a half from Nancy Guthrie's home on the side of the road, taken as evidence by the FBI. We're not for sure that it's related to what happened, but we've all seen that surveillance video now, the doorbell cam video, that shows one of the suspects wearing a very similar glove. So let's test it. Let's see if it's connected, and it could be a very important piece of evidence if there's ever a trial here. Not sure it really helps immediately with trying to get Nancy Guthrie reunited with her family as quickly as possible, but at least it's another hard piece of evidence, and there's been little of it in the 12 days since her disappearance was reported.
Sure, forensically there could be some information if that black glove was indeed the same black glove we saw on that doorbell video released by authorities. And I don't want to nitpick or Monday morning quarterback this, Rory, but 12 days later, why wasn't this glove found before? Why didn't the authorities in Tucson do this grid search a little earlier?
It's a mile and a half is pretty far away from the scene, and it's not necessarily a priority. The priority was to look for her, right? And not, this, as I said, this is going to be more a piece of evidence at trial because it may not necessarily help you find her immediately. Okay, look, maybe they find out that black glove was sold at Target and or Walmart, and they do know, they think that the backpack may have been also sold by Walmart. So now do you combine, who was selling black or who was buying black gloves and backpacks? Could that be a connection? And now you start researching all the Walmart sales information from the past couple of months. Is that how this moves forward? Maybe. But they also got 4,000 tips in the 24 hours after that video was released, and they have to go through all of those as well. So it's a lot to go through and process. And we all know that time is a real pressure here because of Nancy's medical conditions.
Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. A new piece of reporting I saw this morning that investigators are now asking neighbors to look at their security camera video from January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight and January 31st between 9:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. I mean, those are dates well before the Guthrie disappearance. Do we have any idea why they want neighbors to check security video from those days?
Yeah, we have not gotten an update directly from the sheriff or the FBI since a week ago today. It's been 1 week since a press conference. So we're all sort of grasping at straws here. But it's significant that they think that perhaps the people responsible may have been at the Guthrie home, Nancy Guthrie's home, during those two time frames. So they want people to go back to look at their video cameras to see if there's a license plate they can pick up, a kind of car, if they're pointed at, on the streets at all. To see if there's some sort of information, but we don't really know what led them to those two dates and why they're significant.
Final question for you, Rory. In with the revelation of the black glove being discovered, have we heard from Savannah Guthrie or any of her siblings? Have they posted any more videos?
No, I haven't gotten anything else from the siblings. Again, here we are a week since the last update from the authorities, but it also seems that they're almost turning away from those earlier ransom notes, right? We haven't gotten any other information specifically related to the abductors, with Savannah saying, please send us proof of life or please send us more information so that we can meet your demands. Those kinds of talks really ended last Saturday. The video that we got on Monday was her just thanking the public for their prayers and saying, if you see something, say something. So the negotiations have been very different. Here we are 12 days out now since this search began. It just feels like we're hitting a turning point, right? That either something's going to happen soon or this is an investigation that may not be resolved for months or years.
Yeah, really good point. Rory O'Neill, appreciate your time as always, my friend.
Thanks, Mark.
Apparently there was a dust-up outside Nancy Guthrie's home in her subdivision yesterday caused a ruckus, and it actually turned out to be pretty benign. What happened, Deborah?
Well, it looks like somebody tried to deliver a pizza to the Guthrie house. Now, the police kind of went online and made a joke about it. Like, hey, if there's an active investigation, maybe don't try to get anything delivered at this time. They don't think it was a joke. They don't think somebody was being like, hey, let's send a pizza over there. They actually think it might be some people that were working in the area, like maybe news crew or something, thinking, oh, hey, we're hungry. Let's get some pizza sent out here, and put that house as the closest thing. And they think instead of getting it to the cruise or whatever, they try to take it to
I heard it
the
was
house.
a viewer of one of the local affiliates out there that was like, oh, our favorite reporter, Andrew Longoria, is outside the Guthrie home. He's been there for days. Let's send him pizza for dinner, trying to be nice. And then, a delivery guy shows up to they're like, does he have a ransom? No. But it was all benign in the end. All right, 9:50 on the Mark Arum Show. We got to check the Thursday morning ride. I know the weather's beautiful. How about the traffic, Mike Shields?
It's not so nice in some spots, but things improving as I speak, Mark, on the east side perimeter. But a long-standing stalled vehicle was in the second right lane. Right now, the center lanes are blocked as a wrecker loads this vehicle up and tries to tow it out of the roadway. 285 northbound at La Vista Road, jammed back to Memorial Drive. And things improving in northeast Atlanta with a crash down to the HOV lane block, but they are towing that away right now. 85 northbound north of 17th Street. This report is brought to you by Super Shore. Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get to Super Shore. Not just the kind of shore, but pretty sure. But Super Sure, coming soon. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
It doesn't have to be like this.
The second crash we're dealing with this morning.
You don't have to put up with
Use
it.
Covington Highway as your alternate.
You don't have to sit in it.
Travel advisory in Sandy Springs.
And you don't have to look at your phone to get out of it.
It is Atlanta traffic, and getting you out of it is what we do
Consider
best.
using Buford Highway or Satellite Boulevard.
Updated traffic as often as you need.
Traffic is at a crawl.
From local traffic reporters you trust 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB.
How Atlanta gets there.
Beaver Direct certified, providing the highest quality vehicles at the very best prices. Every vehicle undergoes rigorous reconditioning with an industry-leading 12-month, 12,000-mile certified warranty. Visit us at beavertoyotacumming.com and see why everyone loves Beaver Direct.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, it's a brand new year, and that means it's a great time to get organized and get your financial house in order. So if that's one of your New Year's resolutions, Hoffman Financial Group is here to help with that, aren't we?
Yeah, so we make it simple, right? And it goes back to saving people time. Don't worry about you having to work with us. We work for you. So if you were to reach out to us, we would start with something as simple as the Portfolio X-ray. Simple as far as your time that you need to provide us some data points on, but we'll take the hours and we'll apply our expertise to generate a pretty comprehensive look at your financial life, specifically your risk profile, the fees in your portfolio, the performance over last year, 3 years, 5 years, the last 10 years against benchmarks. We'll also stress test it. Can we go back in time and say what would have happened to your portfolio during the Great Recession or the dot-com bubble that burst or the COVID correction? It'll give you an indication of how much your money is at risk. All of those components mixed into one simple 10 to 14 page report. We'll give you a copy of it. We'll walk you through it. And as I say, I have yet to see one that didn't have 2 or 3 golden nuggets, as I call them, of opportunity for you to contemplate possibly enhancing your financial future moving forward.
Get 2026 started on the right foot with this complimentary offer from Hoffman Financial Group. There's no cost for the Portfolio X-ray, and the report is yours to keep. Call 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858 and online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
The Metro Atlanta commute is a constant challenge. No matter what time you hit the road and as the trip times rise, so do the chances you'll get hit by a distracted or speeding driver. Hey, it's Smiling Mark McKay for John Foy & Associates. I don't want to report on you being in a crash, but if I were in a wreck, I would only call John Foy. I trust him, and you can too. Dignity, compassion, and respect are the hallmarks of their service. Been hit? Don't wait to make the call to the strong arm. Zero upfront costs. JohnFoy.com.
This Valentine's, treat yourself or someone special with an experience at Spa Sedell, Atlanta's favorite destination to indulge in relaxation and rejuvenation. Get a $50 bonus card for every $150 purchase in gift cards. Visit SpaSedell.com to make this Valentine's unforgettable.
Happy 30th anniversary to the great people at Ragsdale Heating and Air. This is Scott Slade. 3 decades keeping families like mine comfortable. And you can stay comfortable this winter with the Ragsdale Free Furnace February offer. When you purchase the new Carrier home comfort system, you'll receive the new furnace for free. And that'll include Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. 11,000 reviews with a 4.9 Google rating mean you can trust Ragsdale for plumbing, electrical, and insulation, too. Online at ragsdaleair.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I want to say again to the American people how profoundly sorry I am.
27 years ago today, Bill Clinton was acquitted by the Senate during his impeachment trial. Speaking of former President Clinton, we'll update the Epstein files a little bit later on the show. The precipitous drop-off of Bitcoin has been stunning. I should mention Bitcoin is up this morning, $126. I think we found out why it dropped. Huge goof in South Korea when it comes to Bitcoin. They were trying to do, some company or something was trying to do like a Bitcoin giveaway, and they goofed big time, Deborah.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Bitcoin, but this was a company called BitThumb, and they accidentally credited customers with over $40 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now, they were trying to say, hey, you know how sometimes it'd be like, open a checking account, we'll give you $50 to start. They were kind of doing something like that, but all in Bitcoin. But instead of saying like $50, they all ended up giving them like $5,000. Well, a couple people jumped on this and withdrew it, and then everyone else kind of was a little bit too late. So they were able to get 99% of it back, but the rest of it, like they're still out $9 million in Bitcoin, and they're just going to absorb
How
that
much
cost.
did they give away? $40 billion?
$40 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Maybe that's why it plummeted. They're like, what's going on here? Anyway, we'll watch the markets throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. Coming up after news, weather, and traffic, big story yesterday was the closure for 10 days of the entire airspace over the El Paso airport in Texas. Trying to figure out what exactly happened. The airspace is open now, but we're going to talk to transportation reporter Clara McMichael. She joins us live next on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Georgia has a special election, and there's one Republican you need to know about. Republican Brian Stover.
Who?
Republican Brian Stover. Brian Stover is the pro-Trump Republican in the race.
Brian Stover is the pro-Trump Republican in the race?
Yes, Brian Stover is the pro-Trump Republican. Stover founded a successful waste management business. Now he employs over 100 people. Like Trump, Stover's a businessman, not a politician. Stover is going to help President Trump take out the trash. He'll stand up for ICE, keep men out of girls' sports, and fight to bring down the rising costs.
Sounds like I'll be voting for pro-Trump Republican Brian Stover.
Christian, conservative, pro-Trump Republican, and trash destroyer, Brian Stover for Congress.
I'm Brian Stover, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Brian Stover for Congress.
Hey Atlanta, Patrick here, owner of Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Chocolates disappear, flowers fade,
But an early spring cleaning is something your Valentine actually gets to enjoy. Only Zerorez cleans with our patented ZR water, electrolyzed water that's scientifically proven to clean without harsh chemicals, soaps, or detergents. No soap means no residue, and no residue means soft, fluffy carpets that stay cleaner longer. And it's completely safe for your family and pets. Don't just take my word for it. Zerorez has over 20,000 reviews with a 4.9 star rating. Now's a perfect time to reset your home, especially if keeping it clean is one of those New Year's resolutions. Sure, you could wait until spring, or you could get a head start with a true state-of-the-art clean. Right now, take 20% off Zerorez standard cleaning services when you mention WSB. That's 20% off just for mentioning WSB. Schedule easily online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We do have breaking news this morning. Federal authorities announcing an end to Minnesota immigration crackdown that led to mass detentions, protests, and 2 deaths. Borders are Tom Homan making the announcement during a news conference this morning.
With that, and success that has been made arresting public safety threats and other priorities since this search operation began, as well as the unprecedented levels of coordination we have obtained from state officials and local law enforcement, I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude.
Now, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement launched Operation Metro Surge on December 1st. Federal authorities say the sweeps focused on the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area and have led to the arrest of more than 4,000 people. Sunny and mild today with a high around 61, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. How long will this nice weather stay with us? She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming your way in just over 2 minutes. In DeKalb County, the school system there is considering major changes due to declining enrollment in roughly 18,000 empty seats. A proposal under review would close some 26 elementary schools and convert Cedar Grove, Lithonia, and Towers high schools into middle schools. No final decisions have been made, and a community review process, both virtual and in person, will now take place over the next 2 months before any recommendations go to the school board. The cities of Dunwoody and Peachtree Corners seeking public feedback on plans to extend the Winter Chapel Path.
Phase 2 would connect the Winter Chapel Path to the future Peeler Path along Winter Chapel Road from Peeler Road to Charmont Place. It aims to strengthen a key north-south bicycle and pedestrian corridor. The proposed project includes intersection improvements to slow down traffic and improve safety. Lighting and landscaping enhancements are also included in the plan. Construction is expected to begin in 2029. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
And an open house on the project is tonight from 5 to 7 at Witters Chapel United Methodist Church. And as investigators in Arizona search for new clues in the disappearance of the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, law enforcement contributor Rodney Harrison says that they're having some difficulties that they will be facing in this search.
This is a time that they need to also galvanize civilian members, get the community involved, see what they could do regarding helping out, passing out flyers and getting information to help out with the investigation.
Now, Guthrie vanished from her Tucson area home earlier this month. Authorities in Arizona say that they have gotten almost 18,000 tips so far. A new study this morning finds no link between the COVID vaccine and autism. The mRNA COVID vaccine is not associated with autism or other neurodevelopmental problems in children whose mothers took the vaccine before or during pregnancy. This study presented at a meeting of the Society for Maternal Fetal Medicine found no difference in autism rates between children born to vaccinated mothers compared to those who were unvaccinated. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 239 at 50,361. So the Dow's up almost 0.5%. NASDAQ is down slightly, and the S&P is in the green. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca's in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabrina. Still watching a little bit of a crowd in downtown Atlanta, headed 7585 northbound up from University Avenue to Freedom Parkway. And as you leave the Brookwood split, there is a crash still in the HOV lane, 85 northbound, north of 17th Street. Things are improving on the east side perimeter from an earlier stall. It's cleared 285 northbound around La Vista Road, and still have some volume getting between Alpharetta and Roswell, 400 south, getting past Holcomb Bridge. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies today, highs in the low 60s, clear and cool tonight, temperatures falling to the upper 30s. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high around 62. Saturday morning lows in the mid-30s, but warming up through the afternoon into the mid-60s.
47 degrees right now in Johns Creek. It's 45 in Canton. Here in Atlanta, we have 47 degrees. More news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Thursday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:04, 4 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, heard live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Whole gang with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program, Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Down south, Vinny. Screens your calls. Coming up in 30 minutes, Xavier Watson from News Nation is going to join us. And I don't want you to freak out, Longoria, but Xavier's reporting that the barbecue industry is facing possibly a perilous collapse, specifically the Texas barbecue. Don't freak out.
I'm not.
Xavier's going to give us the info at 10:35. Breaking news from the border czar, Tom Homan. The immigration crackdown surge in Minneapolis is now over. We'll continue to monitor that. I want to start, though, this half hour with a story that we started yesterday on the show. Joining us from ABC News transportation reporter Clara McMichael. Clara, good morning. Yesterday at the top of the show, we started with the stunning development that the airspace over the El Paso, Texas airport was shut down for 10 days. And then minutes later, they were like, oh, just kidding. We didn't mean to freak you out. It's open again. Do we have any idea what exactly happened yesterday with that airport in El Paso, Texas?
Hey, good morning, Mark. Yeah, this was a really alarming situation and also a very confusing one. So here's what we're learning from sources, is that this came from a dispute between the FAA and the military, which was testing out laser technology that could shoot down drug cartel drones. Now, apparently, earlier this week, the DHS used this laser to shoot down a balloon near Fort Bliss, which is right near the airport. Of course, they did this all without telling the FAA. The FAA, on their part, of course, they're concerned about the risk that this new laser would pose to planes, so that's when they shut down the airspace. At the end of the day, clearly there is a lack of communication between these agencies. They are going to meet and discuss this new technology, but now they're also facing a lot of angry lawmakers who want more transparency about how this happened.
Just, to what jumps out, obviously the interagency battle is important, but a counter drone laser? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Neither did I. There's a lot we still have to learn about this laser, but one thing that we do know is that drones along the border coming from criminal groups, these are very common. It's not just a one-off thing. This could happen perhaps over 100 times a day. One of the Texas lawmakers said that drones coming across the border was a typical Wednesday. So it is a concern, of course, to military installations along the border and, of course, to communities. So they are actively working to combat this. But yes, they need to tell the whole class what they're up to.
So the 10-day airspace closure, that was instituted by the FAA?
That was instituted by the FAA, and that was one thing that really surprised people and was really unprecedented. I mean, we haven't seen, to close the airspace over a major city for 10 days, not even medevac flights could get in and out. Now, of course, we saw those lifted a few hours later, which was great, but a lot of people were comparing this to airspace closures after 9/11. You just don't see this ever happen. So very, very concerning, especially for people who live there.
Yeah, it was a shocking announcement. Do we have any idea what caused the announcement or the airspace closure to be pulled back? Was it just conversations between the Department of Defense and the FAA that said, okay, we don't need to close this anymore?
Well, there are a lot of questions that remain about this, but we think that authorities at this point had caught wind of what was happening. We think that FAA may have not even told the White House that they were planning to do this airspace closure. So I think overnight, as more people figured it out, and then yesterday morning, as folks online, as the media kept getting wind of it, perhaps that helped open those channels of communication a little bit.
Yeah, and I just think for clarification purposes, this is just a unique situation. You have the El Paso airport, which is near the Mexican border, but also near a military base. So there's a lot of concern about that airspace.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's the 22nd biggest city in the United States. A lot of people live there. A lot of stuff to be worried about. And this situation certainly did not make that better.
Yeah, it was a crazy run yesterday morning. Claire McMichael, transportation reporter, ABC News. Claire, as always, appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mark.
10:09 on the Mark Arum Show. The craziest part of this, and I don't know, was it an interagency feud between the DOD and I don't know. Well, the airspace is open. The panic's over. But it reminded me, Deborah, one of the greatest 80s movies of all time, and the 80s had a lot of good movies. Val Kilmer in Real Genius. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
So the whole premise of the movie, and if you haven't seen it, you find it. It is so good and funny. It was about these really smart kids at, not MIT, but like Caltech or something. And they were tasked to build, they didn't know they were doing this, but they were building a weaponized laser for the government. Like that was their senior thesis project. You remember that movie, Real Genius?
I loved Real Genius.
So good.
Yeah.
And all I kept thinking was we now have that laser from Real Genius. Like, we have laser pointers, right? And you can get your back hair removed via laser, maybe Longoria, I don't know. But like weaponized laser, like Star Trek stuff, that's pretty crazy. Like how far away are we from lightsabers now? Anyway, here's the scene where Val Kilmer's character discovers the secret to the powerful laser.
Needless to say, I was a little despondent about the meltdown. But then, in the midst of my preparations for Harry Carey, it came to me. It is possible to synthesize excited bromide in an argon matrix.
Exactly. That's all they... I mean, Val Kilmer laid it out in 1985. Yeah. The bromide something. And now we have actual military lasers like they did in Real Genius.
Now we can pop popcorn in that house like they did.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Anyway, all joking aside, apparently... the mayor of San Jose, none too happy about what went down yesterday. He was on CNN this morning. Vinny pulled some audio. He was asked the question. This is Mayor Renard Johnson. He's the mayor of El Paso, Texas. Asked, do you have a good handle on a clear reason for the airspace in El Paso being shut down?
Yeah, so imagine my community, when we woke up, what we were told was everything is grounded. And there was no information, but our city was going to be shut down for 10 days. And that's all the information we got. And still to date, we have no information and we have no correspondence with the FAA why there was a shutdown in our community. Keep in mind that, 9/11 shut down our airport for only 2 days, but a drone was going to shut down our community for 10 days. It just doesn't make sense to us.
Yeah, and I don't know why that 10-day number came out so quickly from the FAA. That's what raised alarms. Not like, hey, 24 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours. No, 10-day shutdown. One more cut from the mayor of San Antonio. You really haven't heard from the FAA or anyone in the federal government since this event happened.
No, we still have no correspondence. We don't know anything more today than we knew yesterday. All we did is we woke up and the airspace is shut down for 10 days, and that's what we're going on today. I mean, the stories that you're reporting about drones and balloons and things, that's the information we're getting.
Yeah, I mean, balloons, drones, who knows? But that was Renard Johnson, mayor of El Paso, not San Antonio. That could happen to me. I could try to be flying to San Antonio and wind up in El Paso or El Paso. If I'm not traveling with Maya, there's a more than likely chance that I'm going to get on the wrong plane. I am a horrible solo. When I had to, where did I go by myself recently? Oh, Chicago for the big baseball card show. I am so used to Maya. I'm just following Maya. She's got the documents, the tickets, what to do with the bags. I'm texting her from the airport, from Atlanta's airport. Like, when do I board? I'm an embarrassingly, because I don't think I used to be. But since I've been with Maya, I don't, that part of my brain is shut off. Like, I don't have to worry about travel. She takes care of everything. Oh, we're flying from Atlanta to Amsterdam to Tokyo. I'm just there for the ride. Maya's got my documents. Without her, there's a good chance I'll get on the wrong plane. That actually happened to someone, Deborah. Passenger gets onto the wrong flight. And it's not he went to San Antonio instead of El Paso. He flew to a different continent than he wanted to go to.
Yeah, so this guy, he was flying from LA intending to go down to Nicaragua, and then he had a layover in Houston. But somehow he ended up in Tokyo. And he only realized it until about 3 hours into the flight when he's like, wait a minute, this is a lot longer than normal. Like, why is it taking so long? So he finally asked a flight attendant, is there something going on? And she's like, oh, no, it takes this long to get to Japan. And he's like, wait, Japan? I was supposed to go to Nicaragua. And so the airline is like, we remind people to please look at these signs before getting on any flight. But does your boarding pass work anywhere?
Yeah. But I guess, no. I mean, he's at fault. But the airline should not have, if you have a flight ticket that says Nicaragua and you get on the Tokyo flight, that's on the, part of the responsibilities on the flight crew there.
Can I buy a flight to Jacksonville but then end up in Paris?
And even the seating, like if he had seat 18C.
Exactly.
It had to be open. No offense to Nicaragua. I've never been. But if you gave me a choice to fly to Tokyo or Nicaragua, you remember that? Oh, that's probably not. Surf Nicaragua. Do you remember that song? Surf Nicaragua.
No, I do not.
I grew up in a heavy metal world in Connecticut, and that was a big hit. I don't even know who sang it. Dachshund? Is that a band's name?
Dokken?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dachshund's a dog.
See if you can find Surf Nicaragua.
Okay.
Yeah, by Dachshund. By Doberman Pinscher. Quick update on the medals, the medal count at the 2026 Winter Olympics. Norway has 7 golds. The United States is tied for third with 4 golds, but we're tied for second for the most medals. Italy is in first at 14. No surprise as the host country. They get automatic entry to everything, and then we're tied with Norway with 13 medals completely. Let's see. Any surprise? Canada's got 6 medals total. Latvia has 1 medal. New Zealand's got 2 medals. China's got 3 medals. Australia has 1, but it's a gold. This is a pretty crazy Olympic story. An Olympic skeleton racer. Do you know what that is? The
skeleton? That's where you lay on your stomach head first and you go
that's
down.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so an Olympic skeleton racer from Ukraine's been disqualified from the Winter Games in Italy after refusing to take off his helmet that pays tribute to Ukrainian athletes and coaches killed in the war with Russia. The IOC says the helmet breaks rules against political statements in competition. Correspondent Seth Doan has more.
That message was in the artwork on the Ukrainian athlete's helmet, which features portraits of Ukrainian athletes who've died in the war. The skeleton event began early Thursday here in Cortina. This is an issue that the IOC has really been wrestling with in recent days because athletes are prohibited from making political demonstrations either on the field of play or during medal ceremonies. Initially, the athlete Vladislav Hedeskevich was going to lose his accreditation, but he's been allowed to stay here in Cortina at the Olympics, just not compete. Seth Doan, CBS News, Cortina.
That's, I understand the sentiment. You want to honor your teammates and coaches that have been killed in the war.
I saw the helmet. It wasn't anything garish. I mean, if you had to really kind of look at it to see why does it look different from just a solid helmet?
You have to save the protest for after you participate, right? What was the classic fist raised?
Oh, yeah, on the podium.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
You wait. I understand the desire to do that. That stinks, though, that he doesn't get to compete. But I understand his heart was in the right place. Did you find Surf Nicaragua?
I found it. I just can't understand it, so I don't know if it's going to cuss or not.
Is it from Dachshund? Who's the artist?
It's from Sacred Right.
What's it called?
Sacred Reich.
Like the Third Reich?
Oh, I don't know that we should play that.
Sacred. It says REICH.
Yeah.
Is that how you spell that?
Let me find it. Maybe there's.
This is what it sounds like a heavy metal song. It's called Surf.
Let's hear a little bit.
Okay, I'm just
this.
gonna play the drum part because I don't know what they're saying.
Surf Nicaragua. Yeah, this is what my friends were listening to in high school. Really? Third Reich?
No,
Sacred Reich?
Sacred Reich, yeah.
I thought it was Dachshund. All right.
There's no toxin.
Maybe they covered it.
Let me text my
Maybe they covered
It was
in
a
the
big
sacred-
song in the halls of Torrington
I
High
guess
School.
so.
Surf Nicaragua. Anyway, I'll text my metalhead friends from high school after we check traffic. 10:18 on the Mark Arum Show. Live update from the incomparable Ashley Frasca.
Hello, good morning, Mark. Better news downtown. A couple of issues have cleared. There was a crash in the HOV lane 7585 northbound near Peachtree Pine Street, and one after the Brookwood split 85 north of 17th Street. Still a little slow going in both directions through the heart of the city. And you got road work on 316 eastbound at Patrick Mill and 316 westbound in the left lane at High Hope. Traffic brought to you by Super Shore. Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. The seismic shift is coming. It's time to get Super Shore. Not kind of shore, not pretty shore, but Super Shore coming soon. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
I think you have gotten better at moving through the water.
Eric Von Hessler has an opinion.
Well, that's why you're not the host of the show.
And some advice.
And I don't care about you wearing a mask, but I care about Eric making fun of you, so the answer's no.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Winter certainly has had a little giddy up in its step recently. If you haven't noticed, your furnace has, your old furnace I'm talking about. Mark Arum from my pals at Reliable. An amazing offer right now from Reliable. Any size furnace, any size, $59.99 a month. Comfort as a service. 0 down, low monthly payments, all feature repairs, maintenance, even filters. A guaranteed no additional charge for life. Book an appointment for a convenient time right now on their website at reliableair.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Hey, it's your buddy Shelley Winter here, co-host of The Car Guys with my good friend and brother Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Whatever you want to know about buying, selling, leasing, or maintaining a vehicle, Kevin has your answers.
That's right, Shelley. For over 40 years, I've sold, leased, fixed, and financed pretty much every make and model. I've seen it all. If you have any car questions, we'll have the answers every Saturday at noon.
It's The Car Guys, Saturdays at noon on 95.5 WSB, brought to you by Butler Lexus of South Atlanta.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of the ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately. Even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to, Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling love life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-383-4419. That's 404-383-4419. Once again, that's 404-383-4419.
Hi, it's Dale from TrustDale.com. I've trusted America's Best Choice for more than a decade for windows, doors, siding, decks, and roofing. Their exclusive 3-way warranty, including my $10,000 Make It Right guarantee, protects you if something goes wrong.
Thanks, Dale. At America's Best Choice, we deliver the best exterior solutions that provide long-term value for your home. Schedule your free in-home estimate now at abcwin.com. No pressure, no gimmicks. America's Best Choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
Are you trying to sell your home the traditional way? Weeks of showings, perfectly timed vacuuming, awkward strangers judging your furniture. Then the price drops start, followed by the slow emotional descent into, well, let's just take the offer. Or you could try Orchard. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy your next place before you even think about selling the current one. You move in, breathe, maybe even sit on a couch that isn't covered in plastic for staging. Meanwhile, Orchard handles everything with the old place. Repairs, upgrades, marketing, without you lifting a finger. And then, when it sells for more, which it usually does, you get a second check. One when you move, one when it sells. No begging, no bargaining, no baking cookies before every open house. Just a better way to move. Get your free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
I'm Fred Blankenship. Channel 2 Action News this morning is the best place to be for breaking news.
So much is happening, and we're on it. Our reporters are the first to know in your community, bringing you fresh information, the best video.
We know you depend on us. It's why we're everywhere live to prepare you for the day ahead.
In the morning, see what's new.
Don't miss a day. Join us. Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
It's Katie Kiley for my good friends at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and a lot of people might be concerned about affordability this year. But at D. Geller & Son, they got to thinking, and what's more affordable than free? This Valentine's Day at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, when you spend just $199 or more, they're including a free diamond necklace plus a box of chocolates with your purchase. Get your girlfriend or fiance something nice and score some extra brownie points with your future mother-in-law. Or get your own mother something special and gift the pendant to your daughter. Whomever you're shopping for, someone will receive a stunning diamond necklace. D. Geller's been Atlanta's Valentine's Day destination since 1939, and they're your one-stop shop for the perfect gift this year. See the best jewelry at the best, plus a free diamond pendant and chocolates. Only at D. Geller & Son. With 2 showrooms near you in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs, shop their Valentine's Day gift guide online at dgeller.com.
Oh, we need a palate cleanser after Sacred Reich. I just texted my buddy. I'm like, did you know that was the name of the band that said Surf Nicaragua? Very political song, by the way. Anyway, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. It is 10:25. We're all familiar with the Gallup poll, right? The Gallup poll, the presidential poll. Apparently, the Gallup organization says it's going to stop not all polling, but they're going to stop tracking presidential approval ratings. Michael Wallace has more.
Gallup has been conducting its monthly poll on presidential performance for 88 years, but says it is shifting its focus to issues and policy polling. Gallup's decision comes as President Trump ramps up his threats against the media and pollsters.
They interview Democrats by big numbers and then Republicans by small.
Trump sued pollster J.N. Selzer and the Des Moines Register after their poll days before the 2024 election suggested Kamala Harris had a 3-point lead in Iowa. Trump won the state by 13 points. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
So Gallup's still going to do their polls. They're just not going to do any more. And I get it, right? If your polling's wrong, you don't want to get sued by anybody. Speaking of President Trump, the Kennedy Center, the president made the announcement that starting on July 24th of this year, it's going to be closed for, I think, 2 years for complete renovations and remodeling, big remodeling project. This is not surprising then. Kennedy Center workers might be furloughed soon, Deborah.
Yeah, some of them may be furloughed or just their departments be eliminated altogether because of this 2-year renovation. There's really nothing for them to do. So some heads of the departments went out saying, look, we're going to cut things back a lot. Some of them will just be skeleton teams in place for that facility. And they haven't made any big announcements on who's losing what job yet, but they're saying it should be coming in the next couple weeks.
That's not, and it gives them, they have till July to find a new job. That's not surprising. You don't want to waste money on salaries when there's nothing to do at the Kennedy Center. All right, news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, we're going to update our top local stories. Plus, is Texas's storied barbecue industry facing an existential crisis? If you love barbecue, this is a big story. We'll tell you about it next on the Mark Arum Show.
Guys, it's Eric, and the President's Day sale is happening right now at the Georgia Spa Company. You can be like me. You can sit in your backyard at night in a warm or hot tub. You can also do saunas. They have swim spas as well. They've also got cold plunges now. Everything for your mental health, for your oasis in your backyard, on sale right now. The Georgia Spa Company has 9 Georgia locations. They keep growing. You can also check them out at georgiaSpaCompany.com. Take advantage of the President's Day sale right now.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract. and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
At Coosa Valley Credit Union, we don't sacrifice customer service for technology. That's why we offer all the modern banking tools you expect with the friendly, caring service you deserve. This is Andy Harris, and at Coosa Valley Credit Union, you really can have both. We're local, we're kind, and we're here for you.
Shockingly good news for all the folks out there that have a receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair. Get rid of that problem, guaranteed for life, and save $500. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with a free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Amazing. All you have to do is call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that advanced hair guarantee. 470-660-HAIR. Unmatched results, whether it's the receding hairline, the bald spot, or the thinning hair, men or women, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced professionals. 470-660-HAIR, $500 off if you move forward. Check them out online at advancedhair.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Dr. Roof. The Trump administration ending its immigration crackdown in Minnesota. Correspondent Michael Wallace has more.
Border czar Tom Homan made the announcement.
I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude.
He declared the surge a success, despite the protests and shooting deaths of 2 civilians.
There are some issues here. We fixed those issues. We've had great success with this operation, and we're leaving Minnesota safer.
Homan says Minnesota is now less of a sanctuary state for criminals. He denied reports that agents have arrested immigrants inside hospitals, elementary schools, and churches.
All right, your weather today is going to be simply gorgeous. Sunny skies and a high of 61, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a matter of minutes. The DeKalb County School District laying out the changes that it's considering to address declining enrollment.
The proposal under review would close 26 elementary schools and convert Cedar Grove, Lithonia, and Towers high schools into middle schools. An online video spells out reasons for the move.
We now have over 18,000 empty seats across the district, and the number is predicted to increase.
A large group of community members, staff, and a consulting firm have been looking over possibilities for almost 2 years now. It says no final decision's been made, and a community review process, both online and in person, will take place over the next 2 months before any recommendations are given. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
And we understand this could impact a lot of parents in DeKalb County. So you can see a complete list of the DeKalb County schools that face possible change. You can see them at WSBradio.com. Multiple reports say the FBI has recovered a pair of black gloves near Nancy Guthrie's house in southern Arizona. This comes as the search for the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie is in its 12th day. The gloves reportedly resemble those worn by a potential suspect who was caught on a video and are being tested now for DNA. Authorities detained a person Tuesday night, but that man said he was released after being questioned for several hours. Meanwhile, local authorities say that they have gotten almost 18,000 tips since Guthrie disappeared. It's been more than 5 years since the 2020 election, but it is still playing out in the courts. Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis is going after President Trump and his allies over a new push to be reimbursed millions of dollars in legal fees in the case.
Willis files a new motion in Fulton County Superior Court saying paying the $17 million would wipe out her entire budget. She says she has no intention of allowing Fulton County taxpayers to pay such an absurd amount for such an absurd reason. Georgia lawmakers passed legislation which allows criminal defendants to recover attorney fees and other costs from prosecutors who were disqualified. Willis was removed from the case because of her romantic relationship with a special prosecutor. She calls the request for almost $17 million a preposterous sum. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Senators are calling for a classified briefing so the Trump administration can explain why airspace over El Paso was briefly shut down yesterday. It's reported that the Pentagon decided to test an anti-drone laser weapon without coordinating with the FAA. The FAA saying that there was a drone incursion from a Mexican drug cartel. Republican Texas Senator Ted Cruz saying that the details of this story are unclear and he needs answers. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 174 at 50,295. NASDAQ is down slightly. The S&P is in positive territory. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca's in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Slow again on the east side perimeter. Now a stalled vehicle in the left lane on 285 northbound past Memorial Drive. So that's causing some brake lights back towards Glenwood Road as you make your way up that way. Still a little crowded on 75-85, the downtown connector northbound, just trying to get up to I-20. And you've got construction delays getting between Decula and Winder there in the left lane on Highway 316 westbound before High Hope Road. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epward. Sunshine for this afternoon, highs in the low 60s. Clear and cold tonight, lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Sunny skies tomorrow with a high around 62. Staying mainly dry on Saturday as clouds roll in. Morning lows in the mid-30s, daytime highs in the mid-60s.
48 degrees in Sandy Springs and Dunwoody. Peachtree City has 49 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
You can count on it.
You can try and plan for it.
But sometimes it gets the best of you.
Multiple left lanes blocked, quickly impacting you as you leave the airport.
When it stops you from getting where you need to be.
Atlanta's most trusted traffic team gets you there.
Now we've got our second crash of the morning on I-85.
The most up-to-date traffic reports from Atlanta's most trusted traffic team.
Only a right lane open.
Every time you listen. Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say this.
I'll direct it to
What a massive...
Still to come, we'll update Bondi brawling with Democrats yesterday in the Judiciary Committee hearing. But coming up next is the barbecue industry facing an existential crisis. In depth in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and choose when you want to move. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Any you old heads out here remember the early renditions of the Mark Arum Show back in 2001? This song right here was the intro to the Mark Arum Show. Hot Barbecue, brother Jack McDuff. So you know barbecue is near and dear to my heart, which stunned me to see this headline on News Nation that the barbecue industry might be in peril. Joining us live and covering this story for News Nation, Xavier Walton. Xavier, good morning. I wish we were talking about a better news story. What is going on with the barbecue industry, my friend?
I mean, you make it sound like the world is coming to an end if I don't get my brisket. I'll say this, it is hurtful. It does hurt my heart a little bit, especially this morning. I was hanging out at a spot here in Dallas. It's called Pecan Lodge. And the brisket, it was sitting there smoking for 16 or 18 hours. And I got to take it out. I had my hands all over the brisket. I'm sitting here thinking, I just want to take a big, juicy bite. Problem is that bite is going to cost us a little bit more. And it's nothing new. It's been trending this way for, honestly, it's been a couple of years. But this spot in particular I was talking to the owner, and they said the last 6 to 9 months, man, the brisket prices are just going up, up, and up. And then, you know what, other industry insiders that I speak to, so barbecue heads, they're saying the same thing. It's only going to get worse from here. And that's bad news for people who love them some barbecue. Actually, Fox Brothers Barbecue out in Atlanta. That's my jam. I know the guy
Good call.
that runs it. Met him a few times. I believe he's from A-Leaf, Texas or something like that. Anyways, it's a little bit sad, though. To think barbecue is going to be a little bit more.
So, I mean, we all listen day to day. We go to the grocery store. We know beef prices are rising,
Exactly.
and brisket's always been expensive. But what other factors are causing concern in the barbecue industry?
Yeah, it's a great question. So every year, the USDA comes out with a cattle inventory report, right? Not everybody's looking at that report, but these guys are. This is the smallest U.S. cattle size in 75 years. So that's a factor. Something else, the shrinking herd sizes, and you got to think severe drought, disease when it comes to, various diseases that have impacted the herd sizes, and then also tariffs. So when you factor all that in, you kind of got this recipe for rise in beef prices when you go and, either get a brisket or say, have a hamburger possibly. I was holding this thing. It's like a giant beef rib. I believe it's called a dino rib. It was like $40 or $50 a pound.
Wow.
But man, let me tell you, some people might say it's worth it. I'm slowly but surely thinking about becoming a vegetarian with these prices.
Well, listen, let's not go too far, Xavier. Now, generally speaking, barbecue in the Carolinas and Georgia, it's more of a pork-centric barbecue, but Kansas City, Texas, that's beef barbecue country. So if folks go to, what did you say, Pecan Sandy's? What's the name of the joint you're around in Dallas?
Pecan Lodge.
Sorry. No, if they go and they get sticker shock on the beef ribs or the brisket, might they say, all right, you know what, I'm just going to, scale down and get the pulled pork sandwich instead?
That's a possibility, but I guess if you come to this part of the country, you can't really put a price on the beef. You can, but you can't. You're going for the experience. I'll never forget, my dad had some Texas barbecue for the first time, and the look in his eyes is like he was living for the first time. He's like, that's the best barbecue I've ever had. And, till this day, I remember that moment. People come here and they want their Texas barbecue. And unfortunately, they're going to have to pay a little bit more. And that's, I was talking to my photographer about this. He even noticed he goes to the store, gets ribeyes, goes to the store, gets the same ribeyes a month later. It's more expensive. And this is about 5 months ago. So now he's saying the price has gone up 4 times just for the same ribeyes he used to buy. So it's sticker shock for everybody, which is unfortunate. And unfortunately, hate to be the bearer of bad news, I don't think it's going to get any better. At least that's what the insiders are telling me.
Yeah, the only hope I can think, I saw a story that President Trump has greenlit more Argentinian cattle being imported into the United States. So maybe we'll get some more beef on the market. Final and most important question for you, Xavier. Give me 2 sides with your brisket. What are you ordering?
Ooh, I'm usually going with the greens. Yeah, I love greens. I'm basic in this regard. Mac and cheese.
All right. You say if it was just greens, I was going to hang up, but you saved yourself with mac and cheese.
But
there.
we could do fried okra too. I love me some fried okra. Oh man.
All right. Well, you're on TV. You got to stay svelte. Xavier Walton, News Nation. Tough story to cover, Xavier. Really appreciate your time.
No problem.
There you go. So I grew up in Connecticut. There was zero barbecue. There's actually a barbecue joint in my hometown now, but it was literally an eye-opening experience when I moved south with the barbecue selection. There was a joint in Buckhead. He's talking about that beef rib. And, oh, God, I forgot the name of it. It was off of East Paces. It was this little hole in the wall. But it was the first time my cousin took me there when I moved to Atlanta. And I got that beef rib, which is like a dinosaur rib. And that's a meal I'll never forget. And I would go there once every 3 months because you can't, that beef rib you can't get. But it was inexpensive and it was huge and it was delicious. Someone tell me the name of that old barbecue joint in Buckhead. Hit me up on social media at Mark Arum, MarkArum. But Longoria, you've been sounding the alarm when it comes to beef barbecue and brisket.
It's been going up, yeah.
Every time I ask you to make a brisket for us, you're like, it's $78.
Yeah, it goes up, and that's because I'm buying them at like Costco or Sam's or something like that, where they're a little bit more cheaper per pound than buying them like at Publix or Kroger. But I'm sticker shock just because coming from Texas. I mean, growing up, it was 99 cents a pound for buying a brisket, and you can buy them at H-E-B.
Will Texans make the shift between beef barbecue and pork barbecue?
No.
It's not.
No.
Can you get pork barbecue in
You can,
Texas?
but it's not as good as what it is here
Yeah.
because it's pork country, that's beef country. I mean, they're just going to make it better.
Can you stomach a brisket
they'll pay.
made in Georgia? Are you okay? Like if you
Yeah, Fox Brothers makes a really good
they are
brisket.
really
Dax Barbecue makes a really good Texas brisket. There's some spots here that
Okay.
make Texas brisket.
So you don't.
I
hold
make
your
a
nose
really
up.
good Texas
You
brisket.
do.
Yeah.
We might have to set up a GoFundMe to get Longoria.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Just final question, Longoria, because you're a barbecue expert.
Yeah.
When you're going to make a brisket, how many pounds of meat are we talking that you have to buy?
I usually buy anywhere between a 12 and 14 pounder. After I cut it down, because I have to trim it myself, it's probably anywhere between 10 and 12. So it takes a good 12 to 14 hours, 15 hours to do.
If you do cut costs and punt on the beef brisket and decide to go pork, make sure you are not eating radioactive pigs.
Okay.
These are a
Duly
thing
noted.
now in Japan, I believe, Deborah.
Yeah. So do you remember that nuclear incident that happened back in 2011?
Fukushima.
Fukushima,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So there were, and in that area, it's been closed off to everything, but there was some wild boar in that area. So they've had this radioactive exposure. Well, they left that area and started breeding with the native boars and pigs that are in the area. And now scientists are trying to see what exactly that does to the inbreeding, how the radioactive can kind of transfer within the genes. Because if a person was exposed to it somehow, they want to see, but they're able to kind of monitor pigs a little bit differently.
Pork's pretty big in Japan too. It's like a superhero origin story. Like this radioactive pig breeds with, what was the pig in Charlotte's Web? Wilbur. Like what happens if Wilbur breeds with a radioactive? Is their offspring radioactive too? When I went to Japan last time, we weren't anywhere near the radioactive pigs, but we were on a place called Olive Island. It's where they grow olives. I think it was some explorer, Argentinian explorer. I don't know, some explorer.
Olive Garden?
They did have an Olive Garden, but it was not the Olive Garden we know. But they started growing olives on this island in Japan, and it was great. We went to a restaurant called the Olive Garden, but it wasn't like our Olive Garden. But there were these signs like "Watch out for feral pigs." Like feral pigs are all over this Olive Island in Japan. I'm not going to roll the dice. I don't think they're using feral pigs for pork
Probably
products
not,
in Japan.
no.
But feral pigs are a big problem in the southeastern United States.
Yeah, not maybe around here, but a little farther south.
I think
Georgia,
like
you see 'em.
middle Georgia, South Georgia for sure. There was a story years ago. It was Boss Hog, I think they called it. It was the biggest feral pig ever caught. It was. I'm going to try to find a picture of it.
When are you going to Japan again?
I don't know. What are you paying for me to go
There's
to
an
Japan
island
again?
that's all rabbits.
Rabbit Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. But never mind. Rabbit Island. They have rabbit cafes and all sorts of fun stuff. Anyway, thoughts and prayers to the beef brisket community, including our very own stoic one, Andrew Longoria. 10:47 on the Mark Arum Show. Let's check the Thursday morning ride around town. Do we have any current hot spots, Ashley Frasca?
Over on the east side perimeter, dealing with a stall that's been in the left lane on 285 northbound past Memorial Drive and feeling the effects all the way back at Glenwood Road. Still a little slow downtown through Midtown on 75-85 southbound, trying to get down to William Street, and a little slow through the work zone near the Gwinnett County Airport. They're in the left lane on Highway 316 westbound before High Hope Road. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
From your source for news.
Get the WSB radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
Tara Fine Jewelry Company, your engagement ring specialist in Beaufort, only 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia. You'll love their larger, high-quality diamond engagement rings, always paired with 5-star customer service. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
I have a gift for every homeowner in Georgia. Whether you need new windows now or sometime down the road, this message is for you. Hey, it's Ray, founder of Window Comfort. People tell us all the time, Ray, don't waste my time. I already had one of those big national window companies out here. You know the ones. They sit at your kitchen table for 2 hours, and the price is so high it feels like you need a second mortgage. And that's exactly why Window Comfort was built differently. We go factory direct, no franchise fees, no brand tax, no bloated commissions, which means higher quality windows for you at a fraction of the price. Our mission's simple: make high quality windows affordable for everyday homeowners. And right now it's even better. We're doing buy 2 windows, get 2 free. And for a limited time, we're adding free installation and no payments till 2028. You have nothing to lose and everything to save. Go to windowcomfort.com today.
At Coosa Valley Credit Union, we believe in the power of human connection. When you call us or stop in a location, you're always greeted by a real person who's friendly and ready to make your banking experience stress-free. This is Andy Harris. If you're tired of automated tellers, come see us at Coosa Valley Credit Union.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
For a great Valentine's Day dinner, choose USDA Choice Boneless Strip Steaks. Just $9.99 a pound in the family pack with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
At All Care Georgia, we recognize that maintaining a healthy weight isn't just about how you look. It's also about feeling good and improving overall health. That's why our physicians and weight loss specialists offer comprehensive weight management plans customized for you. At All Care, we can assist with lifestyle modifications, provide nutritional counseling, and, if clinically appropriate, prescribe weight loss medications like GLP-1s as part of a medically supervised program. Learn more at allcare-ga/weight.
I hate to spoil your Valentine's Day plans, but it looks like we're going to get storms toward the end of this week. Okay, it's Mark Arum here. Storms might roll in over Valentine's Day. Make sure you show your roof some love. Yes, call the experts at Dr. Roof. No matter the season, Dr. Roof is the reason. Very simple. Go to their website, drroof.com, drroof.com, and hopefully you'll have a loving Valentine's Day. Your roof, too.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big 3 carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55-plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service, with 100% U.S.-based experts, better value, with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50-plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call. Ask about the 55-plus plan you've earned. See how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our U.S.-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
The US is putting every pressure on Russia, as the Europeans are doing, through the sanction packages. Look what has been happening with Lukoil and Rosneft and all the other stuff the US is doing.
That's NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte speaking ahead of a meeting of NATO defense ministers in Brussels, Belgium. He said that the U.S. is leading the peace effort in Ukraine, adding that is the only country powerful enough to do so. That is certainly that's good to hear. I know there's been a lot of criticism from the European Union that maybe we're not doing enough, but the NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte says the United States is leading the effort. Braves are down in spring training right now. I don't even want to talk about the injuries that are going on, but this is pretty cool. Ronald Acuna Jr., he and Spencer Strider, my two favorite players, Deborah. Strider, though, did not participate in the halftime show at the Super Bowl. Ronald Acuna did. I didn't even notice him during the broadcast.
He was part of the dance party.
So he was just asked, I think this is from Channel 2's Allison Mastrangelo, of when he found out he was going to be in the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
When did you know you were going to be part of Bad Bunny's halftime Super Bowl show?
The same day. Nobody told me that. And
the same
I'm in
day.
trouble. I see my guy down there have fun, and I love it.
What's your favorite Bad Bunny song?
Everyone, all around there. I love every Bad Bunny song.
Are you a big football fan?
A little bit.
A little bit. So he, this wasn't planned. I guess he was just at the Super Bowl, and they were like, Bad Bunny's like, hey, do you want to be in the halftime show? And Acuna's like, yeah. And I didn't even notice him because I was so distracted
When
by
I saw him, I thought of you. I'm like, oh, if Mark's watching, he'll be excited.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, this is a crazy stat. New York City water use during the halftime show dropped, plummeted, because no one in New York City went to the bathroom during the halftime show. Typically, that's what a lot of Americans do at halftime shows. It doesn't matter who's performing. All right, but New York City has such a big population of Puerto Ricans that no one in New York went to the bathroom during the halftime show.
Yeah, they were saying it was about 15 minutes immediately after the show is when they saw this huge spike in water usage. It was about equivalent to 761,000 toilets all flushing at the same time.
So there was a dip and then a surge.
Yep.
I've been to a couple of Puerto Rican Day parades in New York City. It's an adventure. You might not, Longoria, but they covered it in Seinfeld. They did an episode of Seinfeld.
Did, yes,
where it literally just traffic comes to a complete crawl. But it's not just that. St. Patrick's Day parade, same thing. Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, but the Puerto Rican parade, always a great event. Boricua. Oh, anyway, that's crazy. I wonder if whoever was working the water management plant in New York City was like, do we have a leak? Like, what happened? And then it's just a wave of flushing going on there. 10:56 on the Mark Arum Show. Beer drinkers are apparently cutting back right now. Consumers drinking less beer, and that's having a big impact on brewers. CBS's Jim Krasula has more.
Heineken will cut up to 6,000 jobs, 7% of its workforce, over the next 2 years because of an industry-wide drop in demand for beer caused by rising prices and consumers moderating their alcohol consumption. The Dutch brewer says beer sales were down last year in critical markets, including Europe and the U.S.
I wonder if it's a generational thing. Like, beer has been like are you going out to a bar, let's get a beer. Vinny, you just went out to a club where you said I would have fit in because the average age was 35.
35.
When your buddies go out to bars and clubs, are you drinking beer or no? Is beer
I
not?
don't drink beer.
What about your buddies?
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah,
but not everyone.
Not everyone. No.
So Longoria, when you and I used to go out to a bar, let's get a pitcher.
Yeah.
Or
a
round
sure.
of.
Oh yeah, no.
Beer used to be the most economical thing too. Now with all the craft beer, not so much. Like I usually get cocktails because they cost about the same as a beer does.
Not a Natty Light or Bush Light or
that's a guy's drink.
The thing,
yeah.
Jenny Cream Ale. I don't see Yamamoto out drinking beer. Colby's a different story, not Colby. 10:57 on the Mark Arum Show. When we come back, we're going back to the nation's capital. Fireworks between Pam Bondi and Democratic congressmen and women. We'll go in depth on that next on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
I'm so excited to hear my son's band play tonight. They've been... be right back. They've been rehearsing... bathroom break. Overactive bladder can mean missing out on life's moments, navigating life around the nearest bathroom instead of the next experience. Medtronic therapies have treated nearly 500,000 people worldwide with bladder or bowel control problems. Let Medtronic show you what's possible. Visit medtronic.com/bladderhelp to learn how.
Think about how important water is in your home. You're cooking with it, washing your clothes in it, showering every day. Do you trust the water in your house? It's Mark Arum back from my friends at Reliable. I want you to purify the water in your home. Get an Honest Water Diamond whole home water purification system, only $119 a month, and a limited time offer, $1,000 cash back. An amazing deal. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. After almost 2 years of considerations, the DeKalb County School System this morning releasing its proposal for major changes, including closing more than 24 schools.
In an online video, Interim Superintendent Dr. Norman Sauce explains the current state of the district.
Over the past decade, the DeKalb County School District has experienced a steady decline in student enrollment.
And that trend's likely to continue, so they plan on closing a total of 27 schools, almost all elementary. A smaller number would be expanded, and 3 other high schools would be converted to middle schools. The district stresses that no final recommendation will be given until a 2-month community review process is completed, both in person and online. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
And we know this can impact a lot of folks in DeKalb County, so you can see a complete list of the schools that face possible changes at WSBradio.com. Hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy the weather today. It's going to be beautiful, sunny, and 61 this afternoon. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a matter of minutes. Federal officials say that the immigration crackdown in Minnesota is coming to an end. Meanwhile, this morning, Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul gavelled the Senate Homeland Security Committee into session. He said more information is needed, though, about the deaths of 3 Minnesotans during those ICE surges.
When a shooting occurs, the proper response is not to dismiss concerns or rush to judgment.
Alex Preddy and Renee Good were killed by federal immigration officers. A third person, a still unnamed protester, also killed during that surge. You can expect to see even more driverless cars on the roads this year.
Waymo says it will hit more than 1 million paid weekly robotaxi rides in the U.S. by the end of this year. The startup plans to expand testing and launch new commercial services across 20 cities this year, including Washington, Las Vegas, and Denver. It began fully autonomous operations in Nashville earlier this week. Waymo launched in Atlanta last June, though there are reports that it drove through an active police scene this past weekend where a SWAT team was posted. I'm Bloomberg's Matt Piper for 95.5 WSB.
Now in WSB News about your health, researchers have found that exercise trains the brain to build endurance. Study author Nicholas Betley at the University of Pennsylvania says after exercise, there's increased activity in the brain and the part of the brain that regulates energy use and body weight. He says that there could be ramifications for people on GLP-1 weight loss drugs or older people who don't exercise.
In addition to your muscles building, the circuit in your brain that encodes this adaptation and the ability to recover also strengthens. So it gets bigger and stronger with exercise.
He says the findings could help a lot of people get stronger physically. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 79 at 50,042. So the Dow is in positive. Actually, it's down. It's in negative territory. NASDAQ also down more than a full percent, and the S&P's down more than 0.5%. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Watching some slow traffic still up through downtown on 75-85 northbound from just north of Langford Parkway up toward 10th Street where some trouble cleared. Some southbound delays near Atlantic Station. Earlier stall all cleared up into cab. 285 northbound, the outer loop past Memorial Drive. Heads up through Bartow County. Crash 75 southbound right over that Lake Allatoona Bridge. Heavy delays back up into Cartersville. Think about Highway 41 as your alternate to get around that. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, highs in the low 60s, clear and cool tonight, temperatures falling to the upper 30s. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high around 62. Saturday morning lows in the mid-30s, but warming up through the afternoon into the mid-60s.
All right, we'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I'll run this town to be near you.
11:04 on a very busy news day Thursday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. A lot of developing stories thus far on the program. We heard from the border czar Tom Homan in Minneapolis. The surge is over of immigration enforcement in that city. We got a breakdown of President Trump's meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday. A couple of big stories we're following, including one we're going to go in depth in about 30 minutes. DeKalb County School says they could close up to 27 schools. Really important local story we're going to talk about. Yesterday on the show, we were dipping into the Attorney General Pam Bondi's hearing, and to put it mildly, it got heated at some point.
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent
That's the Attorney General. Continuing our team coverage, joining us from ABC News, it's Luke Barr. Luke, a lot of fireworks yesterday between the Attorney General and Democratic representatives. But at the end of the day from the hearing, was it all political theater, or did we actually learn anything?
Well, we learned very little, except perhaps the contempt that the members of Congress have for the Attorney General and the Attorney General's comebacks to the members of Congress. But, this was a hearing that largely fell on party lines. I mean, you had Democrats and one Republican that, basically was pressing Bondi about mainly the handling of the Department of Justice's, Epstein file production. Republican members of Congress, they largely praised the way the department has been handling the Epstein files, but also the violent crime decrease, so on and so forth. So it really was a partisan hearing that turned ugly at times.
Now, the fireworks, the viral clips seem to be between Bondi and Democratic members, but what type of questions, if any questions, were asked by Republican lawmakers to the Attorney General?
Yeah, they really focused in on sort of this theme of what they have called the weaponization of the former Justice Department, right? So they asked a lot of questions about the former Justice Department's investigation into all manner and means of things, from the president to Arctic Frost, which is sort of the underlying investigation into what happened in the lead up to January 6th. So they also asked a lot of questions about the violent crime decrease, right? That has been seen all over the country. So, you could kind of see when Bondi was getting ready to field the questions from a Republican member, she would kind of ease up a little bit. And then when the Democrats, get the microphone, she would go into attack mode. So it was a very interesting juxtaposition. Just watching it from a objective perspective.
Luke Barr from ABC News joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. Noticed that there was a group of Epstein survivors seated behind Pam Bondi. Did their appearance, their presence, change anything? Did Bondi reference them? Did she talk to them at all?
She referenced them in her opening statement and then in a couple of other answers that she gave, but she didn't actually engage with them or turn around. She was asked at one point by Rep. Jayapal from Washington State to turn around and address the victims. She did not do that, but she did mention them in her opening remarks and said that the Justice Department is focused on the survivors and the victims of these crimes, and that if they want to talk to the Justice Department or her or the Deputy Attorney General, they can do that, and there's a number for them to do that.
We've seen reporting that there are some folks in the West Wing that aren't very happy with what Pam Bondi's done in general, but more specifically with the Epstein files. Was this her attempt to really just speak to President Trump and say, hey, I'm still here, I'm still fighting the good fight for you?
It's a great question. I mean, when you watched parts of the hearing, it was almost like she was, hoping that an audience of one was watching, right? So, it remains to be seen kind of what her future holds. The president has been pretty reluctant to get rid of anybody this term. So, it just remains to be seen how, what her tenure looks like at DOJ. But certainly she claimed that there was a lot of theatrics by the Democrats. But the Democrats claimed that there was a lot of grandstanding by the Attorney General. So, it's a he said, she said kind of deal.
Final quick question for you, Luke. Was this one and done with the Attorney General in front of the Judiciary Committee, or is she going to be back there?
She says it. She's done. There are successive ICE hearings today, about the oversight of immigration and customs enforcement. That's day 2 of that hearing, so something to look forward to.
Luke Barr, ABC News, thanks for a very non-contentious interview, my friend.
No problem. Thank you.
See you, buddy. That's hearing that Luke just referenced there is just getting underway. Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul said more information is needed about the deaths of 3 Minnesotans since the ICE surge, as this morning he gavelled the Senate Homeland Security Committee into session. Paul also said cooperation between the federal, state, and local officials needs to be improved.
In order for ICE to be successful, they must restore public trust. We must acknowledge when federal agents are placed in chaotic crowd control situations that the risk of tragedy increases. At the same time, state and local decisions that limit cooperation affect how and where federal enforcement is carried out. Escalatory statements from any level of government only make it worse.
All right, so that is another big committee meeting that we're going to follow today. Again, is the Senate Homeland Security meeting in session, and that coming on the heels of what the borders are. Tom Homan said today that they are basically done with the surge. Tim Walz, he is the embattled governor of Minnesota, commenting on what the borders are, said this morning.
Where and what is the process of the investigations into those that were responsible for the deaths of Renee and Alex?
Yeah, what will the investigations look like? One of the things that certainly will come up in that Senate committee hearing today. I want to continue our team coverage of the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. Leah Waldman from CNN earlier this morning live in Tucson, Arizona.
We've been here for about an hour, and we've already seen a Pima County Sheriff's deputy making his rounds throughout Nancy Guthrie's home, shining a flashlight, looking for any possible clues. This comes as we have that new reporting this morning from our CNN affiliates that they're asking people who live in this area who have Ring doorbell cameras to go through and check their footage on 2 very specific dates. The first one being on January 11th between the times of 9 p.m. and midnight, and also again on January 31st, that in the morning, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., noting that there could be a suspicious vehicle in this area around 10 a.m. It just shows you how desperate they are for any information as we're 2 weeks into the search for 84-year-old grandmother Nancy Guthrie. We know after that initial doorbell camera video released from Nancy Guthrie's home showed that armed person outside of her door. There was 18,000 tips have been called in, 4,000 of those in the 24 hours after that doorbell camera came out. Now, we also have new reporting from the New York Post. A black glove found less than 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home. If we go back to that doorbell camera video, we can see that person there had gloves on. Now, investigators aren't saying at this point if that glove is the same glove that was connected to that person who was seen in that doorbell camera video, but we know that they took that glove in for investigation. It's part of this investigation that's lasted for days now. But meanwhile, even with these big developments in this case, what we see as big developments here, a person detained for questioning, releasing this doorbell camera video, it's officially been 1 week since we've had any kind of press conference or interview from the Pima County Sheriff's Office here. They said at this point there's still no plans for a press conference giving any kind of update in this case. They're continuing to ask the public to send in information, call in tips, saying nothing is too small. We've seen FBI agents throughout this area searching this rough terrain, trying to find anything that was left behind by the person or persons who took Nancy Guthrie from her home.
That's Leah Waldman from CNN in Tucson this morning. Interesting note. So the camera, again, the glove, we'll see if there's any connection, if any forensic evidence can be taken from that glove. But yesterday we had the former FBI agent, Deborah, and he came on. And my biggest takeaway that he had about the video was that this perpetrator was an amateur, right? That stood out to me. He's like, this is not a professional. And I think that this new data that we just, new piece of information we got in the last 24 hours. So on that doorbell camera video, authorities were able to identify the backpack that he was carrying. Remember the backpack, Deborah, that he had?
Yeah. They'll find the brand or something.
So they found out it's a backpack sold at Walmart. The FBI is already talking to Walmart. I didn't know you could do this, but Walmart can figure out, as soon as that's scanned, they've got a computer file that says, let's just say it's the Longoria style backpack sold at Walmarts around the country. As soon as you ring that up, it goes into their system and it marks the store and what time it's purchased. And even if you buy it with cash, they still know, 9:18 a.m., Alex Williams bought the Longoria style backpack at Walmart in Duluth. And even if he paid with cash, they can look at the cameras, the security cameras at Walmart and be like, that's Alex Williams paying for cash for the Longoria. So maybe that is a way for them to find what this actual perpetrator looked like. Buying a wall, that is crazy to me.
When you scan everything, right?
It's so much more difficult to be a criminal right now. It really is. In 1979, I could walk into Caldor, buy a backpack, and no one would know. But now Walmart's like, we sold 117 of these in the last 36 hours, and here's all the people that bought them, or here people that pay cash, here's the video. Crazy stuff there, which leads me to believe they're going to find that dude. The question is Nancy Guthrie going to still be alive? We had radio silence from Savannah Guthrie on social media since that last video she posted pleading for the general community's help. See something, say something suspicious, blah, blah, blah. In the last couple of minutes, Deborah, she just posted something on Instagram. I'm going to play the audio. It's not her speaking. It's just a montage of videos of Nancy Guthrie when Savannah and her siblings were kids. And it's just Savannah Guthrie writes on the post, "Our lovely mom, yellow heart. We will never give up on her. Thank you for your prayers and hope." So there's no video of Savannah or her siblings pleading for anything. We talked to Rory O'Neill earlier on this story, and the fact that we've seen a major shift, right? The videos that the Guthries first posted were pleading with the captors, the folks that wanted the ransom. And then the last video didn't even mention them, just pleading for the public's health. And then this video they just posted was just like old home video of Nancy Guthrie and her kids. Really, really heartbreaking stuff. All right, when we come back, this is a crazy story. A plane crashed in the Indian Ocean and everyone survived. How does that happen? We'll explain after we check the ride around town at 11:16. No, he did not buy the Longoria backpack at the Walmart in Duluth. He was here getting ready to provide this traffic report. It's Alex Williams.
That's right, Mark. Good morning, buddy. We are watching a rough ride once again this morning up in Bartow County. Crash 75 southbound just below that Lake Allatoona Bridge before you get to the Allatoona Gateway exit 278, and it's cooked the ride back up into Cartersville. Think about Highway 41 as an alternate. Lanes blocked and reopened in Stockbridge 75 southbound south of the 675 merge where a crash got moved all to the right there. And that's why 75 southbound is still bunched up around or just before Highway 138, but those delays should improve. Traffic brought to you by Echo Park Speedway, home of the Auto Trader 400 weekend. Experience the thrill of NASCAR when the Cup Series returns to Echo Park Speedway February 20th through 22nd for the Auto Trader 400 weekend. Tickets are on sale now at echoparkspeedway.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
He's asking you questions.
Hey, you know what? What's eating you up?
He's asking more questions.
What are you, empty, soulless?
And he's offering nutritional advice.
Pica, I think, is the thing where you eat like
chalk and
ashes,
clay.
Eric Von Hassler, today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Scott Slade, and I've depended on the great people at Ragsdale Heating and Air for many years, keeping my family comfortable no matter what kind of wild swings Atlanta weather may bring. Thanks to Ragsdale, I didn't worry 1 minute about my systems working fine during a recent Arctic blast. And especially now with cold weather keeping us indoors more, Ragsdale wants to make sure you stay comfortable with the Ragsdale Free Furnace February offer. When you purchase a new Carrier home comfort system, you'll receive the new furnace for free. And you not only save now, but you're covered for the next 15 years with Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. They've been taking great care of their customers for 3 decades now. Many of their employees have been with them for 10, 20, even 30 years. No wonder they have over 11,000 reviews and a 4.9 Google rating. Ragsdale's the name I know you can trust to take care of your plumbing, electrical, and insulation jobs, too. It's easy to schedule your visit online at ragsdaleair.com or give one of their friendly customer service reps a call. Take advantage now of Free Furnace February with Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Chris, you've talked for years about the importance of having a financial plan in place because it gives us that roadmap for the journey of retirement. That helps us navigate the ups and the downs, when life doesn't go to script. But hey, when can we ever count on life to go according to script?
Yeah, it never does, but we can script it out for you financially. And this is a pretty robust offer that we would present to you today. The first step is you call us or you go to unleashyourmoney.com and click that portfolio x-ray button or the 401k x-ray. That'll allow us to do about a 10 to 14 page report. We give it to you. It assesses exactly what's included in your financial life, all of your investments. From there, if you want us to take step 2 for you, again, completely complimentary, free of charge, we will build you an income plan to replace your paycheck in retirement. That income plan also includes tax strategies, which are extremely important for people in today's environment. Then, if you want us to take the final step, we can fold all of that into a full financial plan and map it out for the rest of your life or until age 100. All 3 of those offers, completely free of charge, completely complimentary. I would start with that portfolio x-ray. It'll take us a few hours to generate the report. We do all that behind the scenes. We give it to you in a half an hour, 45-minute meeting. Very valuable information for you to have on your ready and take home with you.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group today, 770-580-2024. That's 770-580-2024 or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of the ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately. Even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to, Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling love life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-383-4419. That's 404-383-4419. Once again, that's 404-383-4419.
The following is a paid commercial announcement. Georgia has a special election, and there's one Republican you need to know about. Republican Brian Stover.
Who?
Republican Brian Stover. Brian Stover is the pro-Trump Republican in the race.
Brian Stover is the pro-Trump Republican in the race?
Yes, Brian Stover is the pro-Trump Republican. Stover founded a successful waste management business. Now he employs over 100 people. Like Trump, Stover's a businessman, not a politician. Stover is going to help President Trump take out the trash. He'll stand up for ICE, keep men out of girls' sports, and fight to bring down the rising costs.
Sounds like I'll be voting for pro-Trump Republican Brian Stover.
Christian, conservative, pro-Trump Republican, and trash destroyer, Brian Stover for Congress.
I'm Brian Stover, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Brian Stover for Congress.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and you can't get fooled again.
That's actor Josh Brolin playing there President Bush in the movie W. He'll forever be the older brother in Goonies for me. Josh Brolin turns 58 years old today. He's been on the show before. We talked to Josh Brolin before. Happy 58th birthday. All right, I teased this story before the break. You think a plane crashes in the ocean, it's the worst possible scenario, and that's what I thought when I saw the headline, Deborah. But miraculously, plane crashes in the Indian Ocean and no one loses their life.
Yeah, 55 people crashed into the Indian Ocean, and this was just minutes after it had taken off. It was on its way to Somalia, and a wing snapped clean off. It was floating in the water. Luckily, all the passengers were able to deplane. They were kind of spotted around the water when all the rescue crews got there, but none of them had any serious injuries.
That's remarkable. That gives me hope. You know, when you see the safety video or the demonstration on the plane, in the rare event of a water landing, that's what they call it, a water landing. We'll have these inflatable Zeeks, and then you put it on, and you're like, if we land in the ocean, that's it. It's over. But apparently not. This was a true water landing. Everyone survived. Now, if you're how many, 55 passengers you said?
Yeah, 55.
If you're one of the 55 passengers that survived the plane crash into the Indian Ocean, you're free rolling now for the rest of your life. You're playing with house money. You should have probably died. Plane crash into the ocean, usually that's a bad, and you're alive still, you're free rolling. You're playing with house money. Go and do whatever you want to do in life. You're getting a second chance. That's remarkable. One more airline story. This doesn't have to do with a water landing. This has to do with foods. American Airlines celebrating their 100th. So they're a little younger than Delta. But they are bringing back golden age foods to American Airlines.
Yeah, maybe you would like this. 100-year anniversary means we're bringing back some retro food options, and the appetizers are going to be like prawn cocktail, Waldorf salad, deviled eggs. No?
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. Well, and then the entrees, you're going to have things like beef Wellington
Ooh, yeah.
with roasted vegetables. You're going to have chicken Florentine with mashed potatoes and mushroom sauce. And for dessert, look for a pecan tart.
I remember when everyone got a meal on planes. Everyone was smoking also on the plane, but everyone got a meal. And I would fly down to Florida to spend time with my grandparents, and I loved the breakfast, the powdered eggs. I know it sounds gross. As a kid, I was like, these are the best eggs ever invented. Waldorf salad, I'm all out on. Speaking of Waldorf, I believe the Waldorf salad was invented at the famous Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. It is going up for sale.
Its Chinese owners just reopened the hotel last fall after an 8-year, multi-billion-dollar renovation. The Wall Street Journal reports they will likely not get all their costs back. The hotel's 375 guest rooms and its adjacent restaurants and shops are expected to sell for $1 billion. The Waldorf's 372 condominium units will be sold separately. Several other Chinese property owners are pulling out of the U.S. as political tensions between the U.S. and China rise. Michael Wallace, CBS News, New York.
I've never spent a night in the Waldorf Hotel. It's too expensive. But as a kid, when we go to New York City and I had to go to the bathroom, my mom would take me to the bathrooms at
nice
the Waldorf.
Choice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That where you fell in love with
yes.
nice bathrooms?
Yes, marble. It was, but I've never spent a dime or spent a night at the Waldorf, but I'm very familiar with their facilities there. Top-notch facilities at the Waldorf Astoria. News, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, do we have tickets to give away, Deborah?
Yeah, tickets to see Michael Richards.
We'll give those away, and we're going to update a big local story. DeKalb schools might shut down 27 schools. In-depth coverage next on The Mark Arum Show.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA
MCO.
40,000 people. Let that number sink in for a second. That's not a crowd. That's a small city. And it's the number of people choosing pain relief without surgery. 40,000 folks who said, stop. Before you replace my knee or my hip, before I put my life on hold for months, there has to be another way. And they found it at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader using cellular-level treatments to revitalize joint tissue naturally. Patients who thought they were out of options and surgery was the only answer, today, they're moving better, hurting less, and getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics' advanced regenerative treatments. The truth is, surgery isn't always the answer. QC Kinetics, right here in Atlanta, using safe, natural treatments backed by real science. And this is critical. The sooner you start, the faster inflammation will ease. 40,000 people can't be wrong. Before you say yes to surgery, do your research. Call QC Kinetics today. Consultation is free. 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane. Since 1929, Shane Company has helped millions of customers find their dream engagement ring. I still hand-select every ruby and sapphire center stone, choosing each one for its unique color and life. We're proud to offer the widest selection of beautiful colored gemstones for your engagement ring and fine jewelry, because a friend wants you to have nothing but the best. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and choose when you want to move. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Rocco's European Garage, your dealership alternative. Our top story this half hour, Borders Czar Tom Homan saying the immigration crackdown in Minnesota is coming to an end. He says that they've taken major steps since his arrival and that the operation in the state has yielded the results they came for.
We made personnel changes. We integrated BP with the ICE teams. We established a single unified chain of command structure. We strengthened joint intelligence and targeting capabilities. We deployed body cameras.
And Governor Tim Walz at a news conference saying that they're leaving with many unanswered questions.
Where and what is the process of the investigations into those that were responsible for the deaths of Renee and Alex?
Now, the operations in Minnesota have been in the spotlight nationally after 2 American civilians were killed by federal agents in separate incidents there. All right, your weather for today, it's going to be gorgeous. Sunny and mild, highs around 61. How long will this nice weather stay with us? WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. In DeKalb County, the school system there is considering major changes due to declining enrollment and roughly 18,000 empty seats. A proposal under review would close 26 elementary schools and convert Cedar Grove, Lithonia, and Towers high schools into middle schools. Now, no final decisions have been made, and a community review process, both virtually and in person, will be taking place over the next 2 months before any recommendations go to the school board. Now to Arizona this morning. Multiple reports saying the FBI has recovered a pair of black gloves near Nancy Guthrie's house in southern Arizona. This comes as the search for the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie is in its 12th day. The gloves reportedly resemble those worn by a potential suspect who was caught on a video and are being tested now for DNA. Authorities detained a person Tuesday night, but that man said that he was released after being questioned for several hours. Meanwhile, local authorities say that they've gotten almost 18,000 tips since Guthrie's disappearance. Reading, writing, and learning a new language can actually help lower your risk of Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. Correspondent Michael George has more on that.
A Rush University Medical Center study found that doing activities that stimulate the mind improve cognitive health throughout your entire life. Even people who read books and newspapers before the age of 18 had a cognitive benefit decades later.
The Labor Department this morning out with its weekly unemployment filings. Jim Ryan has the look at the numbers.
5,000 fewer out-of-work Americans applied for state jobless benefits in the week ending February 7th for 227,000 altogether. Economists and Wall Street are more interested in the less volatile 4-week moving average. It rose last week by 7,000, indicating an increase in layoff activity.
All right, so let's take a look at your money now. The Dow currently down 482 at 49,638. So the Dow's down almost a full percent. NASDAQ's down almost 2%. And the S&P is also in negative territory, down more than a full percent. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Travel advisory continues through Bartow County with a crash 75 southbound at the Lake Allatoona Bridge below Old Allatoona Road exit 283. Use Highway 41 as an alternate. Downtown, still some volume, 75-85 northbound from University Avenue, but improving once you get up past Freedom Parkway and Peachtree Pine Street, and left lane construction in Gwinnett County, 316 westbound, approaching High Hope Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epward. Sunshine for this afternoon, highs in the low 60s. Clear and cold tonight, lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Sunny skies tomorrow with a high around 62. Staying mainly dry on Saturday as clouds roll in. Morning lows in the mid-30s, daytime highs in the mid-60s.
55 degrees in Tucker. It's 56 in Jefferson and Brookhaven. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Don't be late because you crowdsourced your commute with a navigation app.
Heads up crash involving several vehicles.
Depend on us
to make sure you get where you need to be on
Alternates
time.
needed this morning between Buford and Swanee.
Local and dependable traffic 24 hours a day, 7 days a
Some
week.
of the alternates to get you around this include Memorial Drive in East Ponce.
WSB Triple Team
A car
Traffic.
has flipped over at 20 westbound.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Only 83% of elementary school seats are filled. This represents about 9,000 open seats.
Breaking news in DeKalb County, the possibility that 27 schools will be closed. We'll update that story, plus Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Michael Richards next on the Mark Arum Show.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Priority Men's Medical Center restores men's love lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Priority Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Priority Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. Take control of your love life. Call now. 404-885-8885.
Flowers and chocolates are okay, but an insanely clean home from Zerorez Carpet Cleaning is sure to impress your loved one. Only Zerorez uses ZR water to clean your carpets and other surfaces without harsh chemicals. To make things sweeter, they leave zero residue behind, so your carpets stay cleaner longer, which means soft and fluffy carpets. Right now, take 20% off Zerorez standard cleaning services when you mention WSB or book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
I never thought my closet would be a room I'd find myself sitting in, but I'm basking in the glow of newly installed rods, shelves, and drawers that make up my Artisan Custom Closet. Schedule your free design consultation with a certified master artisan designer at artisancustomclosets.com.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, a camel, and a
11:37 on the Mark Arum Show on this Thursday, the 12th edition of the Mark Arum Show. That means tomorrow, Deborah, is Friday the 13th. And I believe Friday the 13th, I think Krispy Kreme is giving away like free donuts or something tomorrow.
Is that where you're sending Vinny tomorrow?
I don't know yet. We got to work out the details of Donut Friday. Vinny just got paid for winning the Super Bowl squares, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop and get donuts tomorrow before I come in for Donut Friday. Before we get back to this DeKalb County school closure story, we do have some tickets to give away, Deborah.
Pair of tickets to see Michael Richards at Center Stage on February 17th.
Let's do the seventh caller to Vinny Drip. Seventh caller to 404-872-0750. Caller number 7 to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Michael Richards, Center Stage, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and WSB. All right, big local story. DeKalb County Schools release a preliminary list of schools that could be closed or repurposed in the face of declining attendance numbers.
Faced with roughly 18,000 empty seats in classrooms across the district, school leaders are mulling a proposal calling for the closure of 26 elementary schools and 1 middle school, while 3 high schools, Cedar Grove, Lithonia, and Towers, could be converted to middle schools. Interim Superintendent Norman Sauce stresses no final decisions have been made, and a thorough review process will take place over the next 2 months. Any final recommendations for action by the school board will come after these public sessions, which will be offered virtually and in person. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so DeKalb's it's the third biggest school system in Georgia, behind Gwinnett and Fulco, I think. Don't quote me on that. I know Gwinnett's number 1, but they lost 18,000 students year to year. That's substantial, but that would indicate that the possibility that 27 schools could be closed. So right now the plan, again, nothing is final. I want to emphasize that. DeKalb County's making sure we say nothing is finalized yet. But the plan is to convert 3 high schools to middle schools, Cedar Grove High, Lithonia High, Towers High. Convert 5 middle schools to elementary schools, Bethune, Champion Theme, Lithonia, McNair, Miller Grove, and Cedar Grove Middle. They plan to close or repurpose more than 24 elementary schools. Ashford Park, Bob Mathis, Brockett, Browns Mill, Canby Lane, Cedar Grove, Columbia, etc. I'm not going to go through the whole list. I've been to a bunch of these on career days. I'm very familiar with a lot of these schools in DeKalb County. And then adding capacity at 11 elementary schools. Briar Vista, Briar Lake, Chestnut, Hawthorne, Hightower, etc., etc., etc. Maya taught in DeKalb County schools for like 20 years. I don't have any insider knowledge, but I'm pretty sure that the declining enrollment in DeKalb County schools, a very diverse school district, has to do with the immigration policy of what's going on right now. In Gwinnett County, I don't think they're seeing a significant drop as DeKalb has, but they've lost student enrollment. I'm sure the same goes for Cobb County. I think a lot of it has to do with people being deported or self-deportation. Now, this is just a theory. I don't have facts to back this up, but from what I'm hearing, that 18,000 less students, it's a lot of folks. Maybe some are moving out of DeKalb County District to a different district, but I think a lot of it is people. The parents of these students are no longer in the country. Relatedly, a record number of detained immigrants are voluntarily leaving the country. Michael Wallace from CBS.
A CBS News analysis of court records found 28% of completed immigration removal cases among those in detention last year ended in voluntary departure. Former LSU nursing student Vilma Palacios agreed to return to Honduras after being detained for 6 months at a center in Louisiana, where she said the conditions are horrible.
I feel like it's very inhumane.
She says the system is set up for detainees to become so emotionally drained they decide to give up and be deported just so they can have their freedom. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And we talked about this at length, Deborah, before the inauguration of President Trump. Obviously, border and immigration was, a big priority for President Trump in his second term. And I even said, I bet people are going to say, you know what? I'm not waiting for ICE. I'm going to self-deport. I think that has happened. I think there's been a lot of deportations. But I think that's why when you're seeing 18,000 fewer students in DeKalb County, I think a lot of that has to do with the immigration policy. Now, the question, Deborah, if they close 27 schools, again, nothing. What does the school district do with those empty facilities? Do they hold on to them and, in case there's a surge of student
Like turn them
re-enrollment
into administrative buildings or something?
or sell them. Like, I'm sure, you could repurpose an elementary school into, an apartment or townhouse kind of
Mixed-use
situation.
development.
Yeah, something.
My question is I don't know if it's so much here, but like I grew up in a really small town. Everybody walked to school. How does this affect the kids that all of a sudden have to go to a different school? Are they bused in different routes? Do they have to walk different routes? Like, how does that affect those kids?
Yeah, I'm sure there's, they will be planning on that. The walk to school kids, if they walk to the elementary school that's going to be closed, they will bus. The logistics will figure out. The kids will find out a way to get to school. Speaking of schools, brand new high school in my town just opened up this year. It's the first year. It's a combination on the same campus, high school and the middle school. They tore down my high school, which is really sad. I never went back after graduation.
You never went to a reunion?
Well, not at the school. We had a reunion at a bar. Yeah. But it was kind of sad, and I couldn't go up they had like a goodbye, open house kind of thing. But anyway, that's gone. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful campus facility. Very jealous. But yesterday there was a bomb threat called in to the middle school. And I'm friends with parents that have kids at this school. And apparently, I didn't know this in my hometown, they have banned cell phones for middle schoolers and high schools. And so all these parents were freaking out. I can't get in touch with my kid. They banned like the bomb threat and the school lockdown and evacuation turned into I can't get in touch with my kid for, to see if they're okay. It turned out to be nothing. It was fine. But like that was the primary concern. So I know they're pushing I'm still for cell phone bans in schools.
The school can't send out like a mass text.
I'm sure they did. But, I get it. An emotional time. The school's on lockdown or there's evacuation, you can't get in touch with your kids. But it's the phones are so distracting. The entire world at a kid's fingertips. In the middle of a boring social studies class, I know I would be like, all right, let me. I can literally look at anything in the world in my hand.
You don't have to give your kids a smartphone. You can give them a simple phone.
Try that on for size.
Well,
18-year-old.
I'm just saying.
Here's a flip phone, kid.
The alternate would be not to have one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of my dad and how my brother teaches his kids. He's like, you can have this or you cannot have one.
Absolutely understood. 11:45 on the Mark Arum Show. Congrats to DJ Fish in Jonesboro. Great name. He won a pair of tickets to see Michael Richards center stage, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and 95.5 WSB. All right, rapid fire here, Deborah. I've never received stitches in my life. I should have on my index finger. I got caught in a Halloween knife accident when I was 14. But I've never, knock on wood, have ever needed stitches. Have you ever gotten stitches?
When my brother stabbed me in the face.
That's
yes,
right.
Yes.
Longoria, I'm sure you were in some switchblade flights.
I've had stitches in my life.
Yeah, you've had stitches. I never want to do them. But now we went from stitches to staples, medical staples, and now they've come up with something called spray-on stitches.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of a powdery substance. They're calling it a magic powder, and it'll come in a can like you would spray, any type of aerosol or whatever, and that's supposed to have enough adhesive where it can stop the bleeding. So they're hoping that you can carry this like for car accidents or even on medical fields where it might not take really deep stitches. You might still need them, but it'll at least be enough while you're
temporary,
on the spot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and for small things like cuts like my face.
How many stitches did you get when your brother stabbed you? Remember?
I'd have to ask my mom. I was only a couple months old. I don't remember.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So you weren't cognizant
No.
of what the hell was going on.
No. I mean, I'm sure I was crying, but I don't remember.
I hope you still hold that against your brother.
All the time. I tell all of his kids. Yeah.
One other human body story. I don't know. Male plastic surgery is a thing. I've been told many times I should have gotten plastic surgery. But what are dudes now looking for when it comes to plastic surgery techniques, Deborah?
Yeah, there's a big rise in male plastic surgery, and some of the biggest procedures are having done is neurodermulators is what they're calling them, or Botox, just trying to stop getting wrinkles in their foreheads, around their face. All types of fillers, kind of the same thing. Body contouring has taken the big one. That's where, have you ever seen where you have like red lights and it's supposed to kind of shrink your cellulite or something? Body contouring, that's what it is.
Body contouring,
like,
okay.
Yeah, like just getting rid of cellulite.
Oh, like the freeze?
Kind of,
okay.
yeah. The versions of that is body contouring. Neck lift surgery, and that's because people love to do video calls and your Zoom calls, so you want to look good on those cameras.
Okay.
And the one that's really taking off is your chest sculpting surgery. So instead of hitting the gym to build bigger muscles, you can get implants in your chest like women would.
What plastic surgeries would we need, Longoria, to go to the pool without wearing a T-shirt.
A six-pack one?
Yeah, can we get a six-pack?
Chest one?
Even in my healthiest days, I never came close to a six-pack.
Oh, no.
Nothing. No, I mean, I was svelte and in shape and athletic, but there is no definition there. I would do that if someone else paid for it.
Yeah.
Give me a six. Give me one
Just
time.
to know the how it feels.
Yeah. I guess with Photoshop, Deborah can take care of our six-pack needs.
I can do that, yes.
All right, 11:48 on the Mark Arum Show. Quick break, then we'll come back and wrap this thing up. Let's go live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Here's Alex Williams.
Hey, Mark, got a new hiccup in Norcross. It's a crash on I-85 southbound at Indian Trail Road, exit 101. Looks like it might be blocking a few left center lanes. Quickly seeing the delays stack up behind that back toward Pleasant Hill Road. If it stays that way for a while, you can always use Buford Highway as an alternate. 75 southbound, still stacked up through Bartow County out of Cartersville with a crash around the Lake Allatoona Bridge. Think about Highway 41 as an alternate to save you some time there. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Friday at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, when does the weekend rain arrive? Latest Nancy Guthrie news, and just in time, what Clark says you can do for Valentine's Day. Join us on 95.5 WSB.
Belinda Skelton with my friend Damon to tell his story about his experience with virtual imaging. It's the gold standard in early detection of heart disease and cancer. I've been encouraging listeners to get screened using their EB-CT scan. It can save your life by giving you your calcium score in your arteries, and it can detect cancer at the earliest stages. Damon, tell us your story.
I have an awful family history of both heart disease and cancer. Both parents and grandparents had one or the other. Also, my annual physicals have always been eye-opening with very bad levels of cholesterol and high blood pressure. I heard the free offer from virtual imaging. It was easy. Took 10 minutes. I was nervous, but the score came back 0.
Awesome.
Yeah. What a relief. They say for the most part, with a 0 score, I have very little chance of suffering a heart attack for the next 5 years.
Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan with few minimum requirements. Call now at 770-678-SCAN or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
When I was a kid, my dream wasn't a mansion. It wasn't a yacht. It was a 250cc Kawasaki dirt bike sitting in the garage. That garage and that bike represented freedom. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. At A1 Garage Door Service, we know your garage holds more than tools. It holds dreams. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and choose when you want to move. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the uncertainty of a traditional home sale and sell your home fast for all cash in as little as 21 days. For 30 years, Mark Spain Real Estate has been serving families just like yours and has helped over 72,000 satisfied clients. You can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
Hi, it's Dale from TrustDale.com. I've trusted America's Best Choice for more than a decade for windows, doors, siding, decks, and roofing. Their exclusive 3-way warranty, including my $10,000 Make It Right guarantee, protects you if something goes wrong.
Thanks, Dale. At America's Best Choice, we deliver the best exterior solutions that provide long-term value for your home. Schedule your free in-home estimate now at abcwin.com. No pressure, no gimmicks. America's Best Choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
We went from there's, a slight chill in the air to, dang, it's cold. In a hurry. You might not have noticed, but I bet your ancient furnace did. Hey, it's Mark Arum back for my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing offer, friends. Get any size furnace, just $59.99 a month. $59.99 a month. Brand new furnace for you and your chilly household. Over 250,000 homeowners have taken advantage of the comfort as a service. 0 down, low monthly payments, all future repairs, maintenance, even filters, no additional charge for life. This is an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Reliable offers fast furnace repairs with 100% satisfaction guarantee, 24/7 service, and next day installation, or they pay you $500. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big three carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55-plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service, with 100% US-based experts, better value, with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50 plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call, ask about the 55 plus plan you've earned, see how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our US-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
One of the greatest songs ever composed 102 years ago, Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, performed for the first time in NYC. Love that. Love that. Twins, Max. Twins. Manhattan, Woody Allen movie Manhattan, great one too. 11:54 on the Mark Arum Show. One more student-related story. This is college kids, and I don't know, Vinny, if you have any student loans outstanding, but people are not paying back their student loans, Deborah.
About 1 million borrowers defaulted on federal student loans last year. This is a big deal. You know, everything was kind of halted during COVID, and then there was a pause on them for a while. Well, now they've been picking up, but they're saying about 10% of total student loan balances has been overdue. 32% have delayed buying other things because of this debt. And, you know, the government can garnish their wage. They can garnish your income. They can garnish your Social Security benefit. So
can they garnish your winnings from the Super Bowl squares?
I think they can, yeah.
Is Vinny's 200 bones up for grabs? You finally got paid, though, Vinny. Shout out to Chris Crawford. We had to rough him up a little bit, but we got Vinny his cash.
Now you know. Because of the Mark Arum Show.
Now you know.
Every year, the USDA comes out with a cattle inventory report, right? This is the smallest U.S. cattle size in 75 years.
That's Xavier Walton from News Nation on a beef shortage, beef price increase threatening the barbecue situation in Texas. Quick shout out, by the way, Shane on Instagram. I was trying to remember the barbecue joint in Buckhead, One Star Ranch. Rest in peace to the dinosaur rib at One Star Ranch. Now you know.
You know, you could kind of see when Bondi was getting ready to field the questions from a Republican member, she would kind of ease up a little bit. And then when the Democrats, get the microphone, she would go into attack mode.
Luke Barr on the political theater yesterday as Bondi battled with Democrats. Now you know.
Apparently, earlier this week, the DHS used this laser to shoot down a balloon near Fort Bliss, all without telling the FAA. The FAA, on their part, of course, they're concerned about the risk that this new laser would pose to planes, so that's when they shut down the airspace.
ABC News transportation reporter Clara McMichael joined us. Clarification on that temporary airspace shutdown in El Paso, Texas. I believe that story is far from over. Now you know.
They see the urgent, immediate, and because of their geographic proximity, threat to them with either a ballistic missile or nuclear program or just nuclear development at all being possible in that country. And so they continue to reiterate to the president, you've got to keep that in mind as you keep talking to Iran.
Ed O'Keefe from CBS joined us live in D.C., recapping the big meeting with President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. And finally, now you know.
That glove, black latex or rubber glove, was found about a mile and a half from Nancy Guthrie's home on the side of the road, taken as evidence by the FBI.
Correspondent Rory O'Neill with a new piece of evidence in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Now you know.
Now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum star of the show?
Wow. Oh, David Wickert from the AJC. Big political story. Going to give him an honorable mention. Ed O'Keefe, honorable mention. Clara McMichael, honorable mention. I'm going to give it to myself. I got Vinny strawberry pancakes for breakfast.
With the syrup, thank you.
With the syrup.
Alex goes, geez.
You did confuse San Antonio and El Paso.
You did.
And Sacred Reich with Doxing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Surf Nicaragua. I remembered Surf Nicaragua. Yeah, I definitely deserved it today. So, hey, you bring in strawberry pancakes, Longoria. We'll talk tomorrow. Yeah, social media is active on this Thursday at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Thursday, Atlanta.